What do you mean you're feeling camera shy? What
I'm
does
just
that mean?
feeling a little camera shy. Just sometimes when I'm on the camera, I'm like, oh my god, I feel really shy right now.
Why? Why? Why is it
I
something
don't
with
know.
you every time?
I'm just like really shy. There's just like, it's because I'm a Libra, I think.
Okay, that's a fun little icebreaker for today. Seems how everybody fucked with your superhero one.
Everyone tell me if
what's your
A,
big
you're
three?
shy, and B, what your star sign is. I don't know my big three.
I don't really know all of them either. I know my star sign, or my main star sign, the one that's like I'm actually that is Aries, and then my
Correct.
moon sign, is that what it's called?
Mm.
I don't know, guys. I think it's Sagittarius. And somebody told me once that that means I'm sad on the inside. And I was like, that is more than I wanted you to know about me. Why did you make me tell you my moon sign just for you to tell me that?
I've revealed too much.
So you're a Libra?
I am a Libra.
What does that mean?
It means that sometimes when I get on the camera, I'm a little shy.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. I think that me being an Aries is basically what you guys would probably assume of me. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Hi, my name is Andrea.
Hi, my name is MJ.
And you're listening to the Lap Sound Podcast. We are very excited to be back for another episode. Thank you guys so much for listening last week. Be sure to leave us 5 stars if you haven't. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us on social media at Laps Down Pod. You know the drill. We don't have anything F1 this week. I just didn't find anything interesting in F1 this week.
Wasn't there, me who like barely follows F1 news, wasn't there a rumor that Kimi is going to Alpine?
Yeah, and I went, I'm tired of talking about this. Until somebody signs a contract, I'm like, womp womp. He'll have fun at Alpine, or he won't. I don't know.
Over it. I recently decided to start the rumor that there's a non-zero chance that Max Verstappen obviously goes to the Trackhouse 99. But I think...
Well, we
I
already
think that's
had
not
sources that said that
I was
that's
going to
not
say, I
happening.
think that's not the craziest thing we've heard about the 99.
Some other podcasters have gone out there and said other things, and I like them to be true.
I do too. I think that's insane.
Willpower to the 99, please. I'll take that. That sounds fun. I'll take one of those.
And I couldn't tell if he was joking when he said it, but he moved on so quickly that I was like, are we gonna circle around back to that, or is willpower going to the 99?
Yeah, that's what's happening. Other like F1 rumors that we want to participate in. I think that's all of them. You know what I mean? There's apparently Checo's confirmed for Cadillac. Sure, I'm tired of caring that about that as well. You know what I mean?
Well, and then Yuki dropped his phone in the lake, which I thought was really funny and people got really creative with. And then people also got really, really upset about it. And I think that's the beauty of the F1, specifically TikTok community. Is like, wow, we're really taking this too far in every direction.
People started comparing Pato and Lando and saying that Pato's recent resurgence this season is a sign that Lando's going to also have like a second half of the season resurgence, and he's going to win the championship. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because Pato is also going to win the championship. So, no, it's a great one-to-one comparison.
Yeah.
I think we're really,
I don't know. I got back
really
on,
cooking with our chef hats on.
I got back on Twitter, and I've been seeing lots of F1 Twitter stuff that I remember why I left, but it's also kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like, you can just say whatever you want out there. People are arguing whether or not you can be a true fan of Oscar if you're also a fan of Lando. What are your thoughts on that? I just want your take on all the F1 drama.
A true fan of Oscar if you're also a fan of Lando?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think you can only choose one, which is what Zach Brown did.
Which one did Zach Brown choose, Pato?
He chose wrong. He chose Paddock. He chose Nolan Siegel through the end of this year and beyond. Unless things change, is what he said. And I said,
yeah, I'm
that's
tired
mean.
of F1. Can we just talk about IndyCar? I just am tired of F1. It's so lame. I just am like, I don't care about this. Just let me know when you guys want to race again.
You know what I didn't realize? I didn't realize that we were on, quote, summer break until people started posting about it. So, like, I guess, yeah, thank you for everybody posting about summer break. But it literally ends next week. It was only 2 weekends off. Isn't it usually like 3 or 4?
I think that they decided this year with the calendar to have more 2-week breaks rather than last year. We had like a full month summer break and a full month fall break. Because I remember there was like 2 full like 3-week breaks. And people were like, this is crazy. And so they were like, what if we just have more 2-week breaks?
That's a good idea. Okay, I support that. I just didn't realize that's what was happening. And I was like, everyone is, boy, do we have our panties in a twist over 2 weekends. But
yeah, I think F1 fans, they just get bored. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta have them on track every weekend or else I don't know if this will survive.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about the Apple deal that apparently is like cooking up, where like Apple is trying to get the rights to F1 to like stream it, and like you would have to pay for like both Apple TV and like an additional fee for F1? That's crazy. Like, I can't stress enough how much I don't care enough to do that. I will just become an IndyCar account.
I was gonna say, it's like, that's a lot of money. Like, Apple TV is expensive. And then also to have to pay extra, because I think they do that with like Major League Soccer, question mark? Is that what it is? MLS? I don't know. Sure. But they broadcast sports on Apple TV, but you have to pay like a chunk of money to be able to watch that. And I'm like, it's like $8 a month for me to watch it on ESPN. Sure, it's like not pleasant and I'm not having a good time and it's Sky Sports, whatever. But it's like, I'm obviously like, I'm getting what I pay for, which is Sky Sports.
I pay like $89 a year for F1 TV, but the rumor is that F1 TV would not be allowed in the US if they did this like streaming rights deal. And that's like the problem I have, because I pay $89 a year for F1 TV. I think it's great. I love all the commentators, really. Like, that's the way I'm willing to pay the F1 TV price. I think the like bang I get for my buck, I am pretty happy with. Something tells me if it went to F1 TV, they would try to like do something stupid with the commentators or something like that to try to like, I don't know, like something tells me that the F1 TV crew, maybe not all of them, would be getting hired on as the Apple TV crew. And maybe they would do something kind of like what Fox did when they took over IndyCar, where you kind of have to have like a stunt cast. And by stunt cast, I mean Will Buxton. He was our stunt cast. And I like Will, and I think it's worked out well. But I think like if they do Apple TV for F1, they're going to like feel the need to do something crazy with the commentating team. And they're going to be like, like we have like star power. And then the star power is like Danica Patrick or something. And then I'm going to have to like myself. So
do you think they would try to poach Jack Hollywood Harvey for Apple TV Formula One? That would be, I think the sport, we truly have gotten to the point this year with the broadcast and with everything where I think Jack Hollywood Harvey is a staple the same way that James Hinchcliffe is. Yes. Like, I think if you pulled one of those away, remember like how much we were complaining about James Hinchcliffe not getting a seat in the booth this year when we didn't even know if he had a seat in the booth? I was literally ready to be like, well, IndyCar's not even that fun anyways. Like, I
was ready to let it go. I was like, yeah, if it hurts you, like, let it go. You know what I mean?
Like, if you're gonna mistreat my friends, it's not gonna work for us. But if they took Jack Hollywood Harvey, I think the whole structure of IndyCar would crumble, like, the same way it did during, like, the CART IRL split. Like, maybe even worse.
Something scarier that could happen is, what if Apple TV, their stunt cast is James Hinchcliffe? James Hinchcliffe is one of the most popular commentators on F1 TV. People are in the comments of the F1 Instagram every time he does commentating for F1 TV being like, I love James, I love James, I love James. If they offered him like a fucking ginormous chunk of money, what if James hit us just starting unfounded rumors What if James Hinchcliffe goes to Apple TV?
We don't want to do that.
I think we would become. Do that. We don't want to do that. I think we would become just an F1 podcast. I go where James Hinchcliffe goes. That's why I'm at IndyCar.
So that's how I got here. That would be insane. They couldn't just bring over who's like Laura Winter
They need a good American voice. And by American, I mean a Canadian man who got shish kebabbed one time and he became our national hero.
And he became American via that process. What if they bring Brad Pitt in to do commentary?
Just stop. Hey, I'll die. Hey, I don't want to do this that much anymore.
I have a feeling, like with
how's being a hockey podcast sound? We can just leave motorsports entirely.
Okay, wait, that could be kind of fun. Hockey, musicals, and WWE is kind of my dream. But the more that I've been seeing of Brad Pitt outside of like the F1 movie context, but still in motorsport, I'm like, I thought it was just a bit. Like I thought he'd grow out of it.
I think he's lying about watching races. I think he doesn't know any fucking wheel. I don't think
not a single person has asked him what DRS meant. Not a single one has asked him to name all of the championship winners. Like, I don't understand why he doesn't have to go through all of the trials and tribulations that we had to go through. Mm-hmm. He's the one writing fan fiction.
No, that's so true. I guarantee he roots for Santino Ferrucci. He claims he watches IndyCar. I think he roots for Santino Ferrucci. I think Brad Pitt is using Chat GPT to make up fake shit about motorsports so he can sound like he knows shit. And then he wants to go on Dax Shepard's show. Okay, another fucking asshole versus asshole podcast. That sounds like my nightmare. And they want to try to like out-wheel knowledge each other. And he wants to be like, oh, you don't even watch IndyCar? Like, what a fucking noob, dude. You just watch F1 and MotoGP? What a fucking noob. You don't watch IndyCar?
He was like,
you don't watch IndyCar, Brad Pitt. I know you don't.
It wasn't even just IndyCar. He was like, no, I watch F1, I watch MotoGP, I watch IndyCar, I watch NASCAR. And I was like, I know for a fact you don't, because Andrea and I do it, and we have no social life. Like, yeah. To be able to keep up with all of those, like, you're not.
Also, you're not doing it. Like, this is why you don't have fucking custody of your children. Like, you're fucking sitting at home watching all this shit. Yeah, I'm sure your kids had a fucking soccer game or something to go to, and your ass wanted to be sat on the couch watching fucking IndyCar again. No, I think it was abuse, probably.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Probably yeah. But thank God he has a starring role in the fucking movie. Did you watch the movie? Or are you going to wait till it goes on streaming?
I think I'm going to wait till it goes on streaming because I decided to use my movie ticket for Superman instead. I was like, girl, this guy seems a lot nicer. I only get one a month.
If they would have made that fucking actor that plays Superman in the F1 movie, that F1 movie would have gone blockbuster, fucking sold out every theater. It would have, that actor as fucking a race car driver. Wow. Breaking all the records. Oscar nominated. Wow. Never seen a performance like this before. Wow. What's his name?
It's like something Corn Sweat.
Corn Sweat.
His last name is literally Corn Sweat.
Oh, there's some girl out there right now writing fanfic about herself becoming Mrs. Corn Sweat.
Yeah, it's me, girl. She's on the call with us.
Me at the Iowa Speedway, covered in corn sweat.
Well, did you actually know that it gets hotter around this time of year because all of the crops are releasing moisture into the air?
The corn sweat.
It makes it hotter. The corn sweat. It's David, or maybe it's Corin Sweat. CORENSWET. Anywhozy.
I love how you're like, it's not corn sweat, it's Corin Sweat.
Corinne Sweat? I don't know how it is. I call him Superman, and that's the formality I know him on.
Okay, well, let's talk about IndyCar, because we've been, like, fucking...
I feel like we have been talking about IndyCar.
Yeah, we've just, like, been like, oh, F1. Anyways, back to IndyCar. Okay. My mom, by the way, I was like, she was mad at me because I didn't tell her I was going to Iowa. I didn't know you were supposed to do that as an adult But you're supposed to still tell your parents, I guess, when you go places, even if you don't like live with them or talk to them more than a couple times a week. I don't know. I got in big trouble. So I went, just so you know, I am going to the Nashville race for IndyCar. And she goes, oh, I'm like trying to keep up on like your interests. Do we like not like F1 anymore? And we just do this IndyCar thing? I was like, no, Mom. I do all of the things. It's just right now F1's not doing anything interesting. So I'm just talking about IndyCar now. Jeez. Fucking get with it, idiot.
Gotta keep her up to date.
Yeah. Okay. ECR announces that they're relocating to Westfield. They're building a brand new facility. I don't know where Westfield is in relation to every other Indianapolis suburb area.
From what it sounds like, it's a minute away from where they used to be located. Because I was listening to a weather podcast this week where they had, he was an engineer maybe. I apologize. Well, if you give me a second, I'll let you know. I'll let you in on it. Oh, the lights are flickering. But he was talking about how it's quite a bit farther away from the current location. He was like, I wonder if I could get any compensation because I just bought a house here, for having to switch up and drive now a chunk farther than he used to. I was like, that super sucks. But I
Glad
think
you brought that up on a weather podcast.
Oh yeah, because they were talking about this. Yeah. I think this is indicative of maybe ECR making some bigger moves. And you and I have kind of talked about if they're going to stick with their like current driver lineup. But immediately when I saw this, I was like, whoever they're taking into this new chapter is going to, I feel like, have to be there for a long haul. So I'm interested to see if Christian specifically sticks around with them.
Well, I think that I saw something on Reddit, so I don't know if it's true or not, that apparently like Alexander Rossi, whenever he joins a team, they immediately start building some massive new facility. What do you think about that? Do you think that he's like a diva and he's like, I need space to like spread out?
I think he's just tall and they don't know how to accommodate that.
They're like, we're gonna need taller ceilings probably.
All the doors are a little too short for you, Alexander Rossi. I guess you're gonna have to make a new building.
I like to think that he comes in every time he joins a new team and he's like, it's gonna be big. Like, we're gonna need like a big new facility. Like, we're gonna be in this for like together for years to come. Like, let's build a team from the bottom up. Let's change the world together. And then like 2 to 3 years later, when his contract is up, he's like, I don't think we're getting along very well anymore, are we?
Yeah.
They're like, we built you a new facility, though, Alexander Rossi, please. It's like, I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it anymore. I gotta go, probably.
It just doesn't really feel like it's working. Like, we're not, like, cohesive, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
it's
not
like
gonna
a boyfriend.
work.
It's like a boyfriend who convinces you to move in with him into a place that you definitely cannot afford on your own, and then you guys break up.
That's exactly what it's like.
Dude, Alexander Rossi is such a fucking red flag. Yeah, they better keep Christian. Christian's gonna be like the sweet, nice guy that's there to pick up the pieces of the heartbreak when Alexander Rossi moves on to be a commentator on Apple TV for F1.
Him and James?
No, I think just him, because he famously loves F1 so much. He has such a good relationship with it. He's the American voice for F1.
Hey, he was, for a minute, our American voice in F1.
I know.
But,
I don't know.
Anyways, I just think
love those little
it's
Java
interesting.
House drinks, though. So I hope they have a good time there. I heard there's going to be a Java House in the facility. Sorry, continue.
I love that for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I've lost it. And then also we had, another piece of breaking news. If you guys will take a journey with me back to race number 2 of Iowa. Unfortunately, Nolan Siegel suffered a crash late in race number 1 on Saturday. He was not cleared to race in race number 2. We were kind of waiting to hear, is he good or not? And then on Monday, Era McLaren announced that Linus Lundqvist was going to travel with them to Toronto and act as the reserve driver, but we would know by Thursday whether or not Nolan Siegel would be racing. And fortunately, he was fine. He was able to race. He also flew a plane during the time that he was concussed. As someone who has driven while concussed, I cannot express to you, it's hard to do. I couldn't imagine being in the air with no, like side walls to bounce
Something
off
tells
of.
me Pato wasn't supposed to share that on a podcast. Something tells me he wasn't.
Was it Pato who said it?
Yeah, he said something like somebody. Can't remember if it was Connor Daly's podcast or if it was Off Track. But they asked him about Nolan, and he was like, "Yeah, he wasn't cleared to race on Sunday, but he like flew himself home that day. So like, I think he's probably gonna be fine by Thursday." And the host was like, "Sorry." I think it was Connor.
Did what now? Of course it would be Connor. And Connor's like...
Connor was like, that's probably not good.
Can we keep this in? This is going to make a great clip. But it's interesting for those of you who maybe are new to IndyCar and don't know who Linus Lundqvist is. He was a driver for Chip Ganassi Racing last year. He drove the number 8. Unfortunately, due to the new charter system, they were not able to have the 5 cars, which they had grandfathered in previously. They were only able to have 3 cars, so he got cut. Like, he simply just lost a seat. And he won Rookie of the Year.
Who is the competition?
Of the two rookies that were there, he won Rookie of the Year. Kiffin Simpson. It was Kiffin. So, and Kiffin's done much better this year, but I think last year was probably whatever. But he's a good driver, and I think many of us coming into this year was like, no, I would be shocked to see him not have a seat somewhere. He didn't get a seat anywhere, but he goes to each of the races on his own dime and just kind of hangs out in the Honda tent. He's just like always available. Honestly, same. But he's always there. He's always available. So it's very interesting that he, A, got this opportunity, that they considered him for this opportunity, but B, he's now going to be like a Chevy reserve driver. So that's kind of shifting the tides a little bit. I'm interested to see if, because obviously the Chevy side of things is kind of lacking. If you guys have heard, their driver lineups is like significantly less stacked than the Honda driver lineups. So I wonder if this maybe opens up a door for one of the Chevy teams to pick him up. I don't know, but at least we know now that they know he's there, which is great.
Yeah. It was weird seeing him in the like McLaren get up though. It was really unsettling to see him in Papaya.
He looks crazy in Papaya. Yeah, I'm like, where's your blue American Legion? Why are you dressed like that?
I think you're gonna throw up. Stop showing me this. I can't look at it.
Why are you dressed like that? But I don't know.
I don't know. I think like he's determined. He's gonna. I think that there will be opportunities. Unfortunately, though, not very many. I'm feeling like the opportunities, right, are going to be like a little bit slimmer than he'd probably hope. Less open seats. Unless, Will Power goes to 99, that could change everything.
That's going to be crazy when Will Power goes to the 99 and then they're like, why don't we have Linus come in here instead of David Malukas? Like, we'll get to David Malukas later, but I think Linus
David Malukas is going to say, David Malukas is going to say, I am no longer interested in a Penske seat. Thank you so much.
So then he's going to have to go retire?
No, he's going to stay at AJ Foyt, the new Penske.
He can't stay at AJ Foyt if he doesn't want a Penske seat. That's the whole purpose of AJ Foyt, is for one Santino Ferrucci seat and one Penske future seat.
What happens, though, when AJ Foyt is better than Penske? Then what? This is like a very Visa Ketchup Racing Bull Red Bull situation. It's like, don't
It kind of is.
Don't
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm actually fine here. My car finishes most weeks, and I think I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know. I'm curious to see what Linus is up to. I think Nolan, very happy he got cleared to race, which is the only normal thing you can say, really. And if you said anything different than that, you're weird.
If you made a video with the song in the background of "The War is Over" the announcement that
Nolan Siegel's concussed,
that's crazy behavior, and I hope
don't do that.
You feel bad about it now, and you won't do it again.
There's still
So
time to delete
speaking
the
of
video.
insane discourse, yeah, please. Speaking of insane discourse, I thought it'd be fun just for a little, like, we'll talk about it a little bit. Maybe, like, make our statement and then we can back away from it. That Joseph Newgarden is unprofessional with the way that he's been handling himself in the media. And we saw today, we'll get to it in the future, but we're also going to get to it right now, where he was very, like, brief after his wreck. And people are saying that that's unprofessional as well. Do you have any thoughts on that? On Joe New?
Yeah, I do, actually. We'll talk about what happened today first. So, he got in a little skerfuffle with the bottom of Jacob Abel's car, in which his head was under it. Not a good place, probably, for your head to be under a vehicle.
Never.
And I'll tell you what's unprofessional. Why the fuck did they have a fucking camera on his wife the whole time? I'm like, what? What do you want? What do you want me to do with this? Why do you want? Because it's like they keep doing this thing where they like the coverage of Joseph Newgarden is waiting for him to blow up. Basically, it's like, oh, here's his wife watching him get run over by a car. Okay, let's zoom in on him being like clearly upset and like getting upset with the AMR safety team as they're like trying to help him into the back of the truck, and then they go, wow, everybody at home goes, wow, look how unprofessional he is. And I'm just like, I feel like you could get these same angles on just about anybody, right? Am I crazy for thinking that, like, I've seen that same exact behavior from hundreds of other race car drivers when they are underneath a race car, or when they've DNF'd for like the fucking 5th week in a row, or when they like, okay, he was in the lead of a race and got taken out by, was it Jacob Abel? No, it was Louis Foster. It was Louis Foster. Okay. I get those two mixed up, by the way, of they both are
Ricky's
towards the back.
Babies. The RLLs are good at qualifying. How dare you?
But I feel like I'm like, okay, so like, all right, what does he got to say after the medical center? And they go, oh, he doesn't want to talk right now. Oh, okay, that seems like a normal thing for a human. I keep thinking, like, this seems like a normal human reaction, like, in all of these different situations. I keep waiting for the part where he, like, fucking smashes a camera or, like, yells at somebody, and he just doesn't really do that. That's the only time I would say he's unprofessional. Every other time, it's like a normal human reaction to be in shock, to be upset, to be disappointed, and to not want to talk about it beyond just, like, a, damn, that sucks. Next race, I guess. Right?
Yeah. I'm of the same vein where a lot of people are like, he's not fulfilling all of his like media responsibilities, which that's simply not how it works. If he wasn't fulfilling his media responsibilities, he simply would not be he wouldn't have a seat. Like, it's part of his contract, he has to fulfill them.
He would be forced to do it, so there's that.
He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Unfortunately, I feel like the journalists do obviously get upset with him for not giving them what they have fabricated in their brain to expect from him. That's bizarre. But I think the fans, especially recently, have been really, really bad. And I don't know if this goes back to like the Penske cheating scandal of last year, where it's just like, we're still mad at you for this one thing that happened, and we're going to, like, everything you do is going to be incorrect for the rest of time. Mm-hmm. Which is so interesting to me, because people will be like, Joseph Newgarden cheated, but then it will be like, hey, I just want you to know, and I'm saying this from a place of like niceness, also Will Power got in trouble for it, also Scotty Mack got in trouble for it this year. It wasn't just Joseph Newgarden whose attenuator was blended, which isn't cheating, it's just stupid. I mean, it is cheating, but it wasn't like a performance enhancement, it was just stupid. And then we also have, who had to go to the back with him? Oh, look, it's Will Power. Like, I think people like to hate on Joseph Newgarden because he's successful, which, oh my god, I hate when that happens. And he's also, I don't know, kind of introverted, so maybe he just like gives them more of an opportunity. Either way, I think it's completely unfounded. I think he's fine in the media. He's doing everything he needs to do. He's allowed to be upset with himself. He's never I don't find him to be disrespectful to members of the media. I don't find him to be disrespectful to like fans or people that he's around. I'm sorry he's not operating at like a 10 of happy-go-lucky like he used to during the Bus Bros. Things change. Times change. Maybe he's going to bed reading the news every night, and then he wakes up and he's like, shit, I still drive for Penske, and I'm still in the 2025 season. Like, I don't see an issue with the way he's acting, but I do see an issue with the way that fans are handling it and that journalists are handling it.
I think the misfortune he has as well is that he has a very like well-loved team member of Scotty Mack who handles similar situations differently. Like you see Scotty Mack maybe looking at things a little bit more glass half full rather than glass half empty. And people go, well, look, people love Scotty Mack. Like this week when on like lap 4 or whatever, his wheel falls off, he gets interviewed by the media and he's like, is what it is, you know, it's like part of like racing, we'll move on, whatever. And everybody goes, oh my God, Scotty Mack is the best ever. He didn't like blame his team and he like just shook it off. And like, he's just taking every week on the chin, even though his season also sucks. And that's great. That's how Scotty Mack handles it. Just because they're in similar situations and they're on the same team doesn't mean they're going to react the same way to things. And I feel like I probably would take the Joseph approach of like, I probably don't have anything nice to say at the moment, so it's probably best I say nothing, or as little as possible.
I know, because I don't feel like the way that Joseph Newgarden is handling things is incorrect. It's just the fact that it's like immediately compared to Scotty Mack that it's like, okay, well, he's never going to win that unless he does what Scotty Mack does, and he simply isn't Scotty Mack. So it's ridiculous. But also Scotty Mack, I don't think would ever get any kind of backlash the way that Joseph Newgarden does.
No. I think if Scotty Mack did get feisty with the media, people would perceive it as like, yeah, like, get him, Scotty. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But if Joseph does that, then it's like, nope, not allowed. You're a cheater. You're not allowed to do that. It's like, what do you guys want Joseph to do? You want him to quit racing? Is that what you would like? His fucking blended attenuator is what does him in. He's just a cheater forever now. He can't come back from it in any way in your guys' eyes. I don't think he fucking was back there by hand himself fucking blending that attenuator. So maybe we should chill.
No, and it's like, if this is going all the way back, like these are team things. I can't express enough that these are team situations. Like even if we go back to like St. Pete of last year, it wasn't, okay, he did have a part in it because he was like actively using push to pass. Sure. But, like, it was the team that set him up for failure in this instance. But I don't see anyone out here going, like, fuck Penske the same way that they're saying, like, fuck Joseph Newgarden. It's like, you guys just need a villain. You guys just need a villain. And I don't know why we've decided to make it Joseph Newgarden. Like, of all the people, like, he's not performing well this year. Like, if anything, forget about him. Like, just forget about him.
Just move on. We have better villains in IndyCar.
100%. We are sleeping on the actual villains in IndyCar, and then we're bullying this guy who's not having a good time. It's like bullying Eeyore is what it is. It's like we're sending hate comments to Eeyore. Doesn't that make you feel weird?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Joseph, the more you guys hate on Joseph, the more I like him, actually. So, like, you guys should probably chill because I'm, like, starting to think, like, fuck it, do I need to buy a number 2 shirt? You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly.
Like, I think I would look cute in red and yellow. Like, I think I could rock it.
He has some really cute merch. Like, his, like, Nashville line is really cute.
I fuck with that little PPG car with the rainbow on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to warm up to the idea. Like, maybe the more you guys hate on him, the more I'm like, I'm feeling like a Joseph Newgarden fan now. I'm feeling it.
This is
I hope he wins another Indy 500.
Again.
Yeah, no, it's you guys are Brad Keselowski and him, and you guys don't even know what that means, but just know it's bad. If you're doing that, then you're in for a rough ride. I'm going to start riding for him way harder on this podcast.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
That was just some discourse that was overtaking the F1, or not F1, the IndyCar content creator sphere. So I just wanted to put out where our side's on it. What?
Also, this is a type of video that I'm actually officially putting to rest right here on this podcast. If I see a TikTok of this, I'm going to assume that you don't actually watch IndyCar and you're just pretending for like TikTok likes. If you are out here saying Joseph Newgarden cheated and stole an Indy 500 win away from Pato. Good night. We're done. We're not having real talks anymore. We're not actually discoursing. You're talking about, if you can make that argument and also point out where an attenuator is on the car, then maybe I'll entertain the thought. But until then, it's like I'm going to pretend like you don't actually watch IndyCar.
Yeah, that one's a little crazy if I'm being honest. But
oh, you don't agree? She doesn't agree with me. Hold on. I sense that she doesn't agree with me. You don't agree with me that that's a non-starter?
No, I do agree. I was saying that it's a little crazy when people are like, he stole a Indy 500 win because of a blended attenuator. I thought you were calling me crazy. I was agreeing with you. No, I don't think you're crazy.
Sometimes I go a little too far, guys. Yeah, sometimes I go a little too far, and I have to make sure we do conflict resolution live on the pod.
This whole podcast is about communicating. That's what a podcast is. So here we are.
We should do for our 100th episode, we should bring in a couples counselor.
Are we close to our 100th episode? Who would the couples counselor be? Dana?
No. I mean, I love Dana, but I was thinking like somebody that like weird, like this is actually they're an actual couples counselor, and we just hire them on. Oh. And they're like forced to just be like, let's work on communication. Like, Andrea, you cut MJ off a lot, and then she doesn't remember what she was saying, and that is a detriment to the podcast. And then I have to take that feedback and internalize it and work on it.
Yeah. And they would go, MJ, I think you could try to laugh more at Andrea's jokes. Like, we know you think they're funny. You just need to give the outward reaction. I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm working on laughing more. Sorry, it's just my brain goes, no, that was really funny. But then I'm like, we have to keep going. So I don't laugh. I don't know. I do think she's funny. Okay, we have to move on. We must. We have 36 minutes in. We're 40 minutes in, and we're on the first 3 lines before the IndyCar content starts with practices. That's where we're at in our dock.
The bump.
Let's
talk about the bump.
There's a bit of a situation on streets. I don't know if you guys ever driven down streets before, but sometimes they get lumpy and bumpy. And there was this absolutely insane bump right outside of turn 3 that was just launching these guys in the air. And Will Power's like, hey, I'm actually, like, the more we do this, I'm, like, getting headaches, my whole body hurts, like, I'm not having a good time, multiple of us have had to go to the runoff, you guys should sand it down. So they ended up sanding it down, but unfortunately, as Will Buxton pointed out, there was, like, a little bunny bump, or what did he call it, a bunny hill? I don't remember what he called it. Sure. It was, like, a little bunny something.
Something British.
Like, it was very British, the thing that he was saying. Just right before the big bump that they sanded down. So whether or not it actually made a difference, it's hard to tell. I guess less people went off during the race, but when we race on these street courses, you know the path that they're going to be racing. Can't you just look for these bumps before we get there?
I wonder, like, what the street course preparation looks like for IndyCar versus like other motorsports that do street courses, because it's like something tells me in F1, for example, like they have some bumps, but like never is it like, oh my god, there's this bump on this part of the road that's like fucking debilitating, like I literally lose control of my car, or else they would just be like, you can't have a street course here anymore. I'm curious, like for like Formula E or what, I'm just like, does IndyCar just like get a little loose and fat? Because I remember in Detroit they did like a walk of the track on Scotty Mac's vlog, and they straight up said like, oh, we can only make certain changes because if not we have to like pay certain fees if we like change too much of the road.
Right. That's I don't know. It's interesting. Also, they didn't grind down the bump. They put asphalt around it.
They just made. I
said that they grinded it down. Bump. They said what if we make the bump a little bit bigger?
So then it's like less shocking. It's like more of a hill.
It's a ramp.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They're like, so we fixed the bump. We added an accessibility ramp. And they're like, that's not... What?
That's not what we wanted. They're like, but it has handles.
You can just walk right over it, Will.
But that was just a whole plot point for like the first 2 practices, was like, oh, someone went off again in turn 3. But then we just never really saw it happen in the race. So I guess they fixed it.
Because Kyle Kirkwood said something of like, well, that's only a problem if you brake in certain parts of the turn. And Will got really mad. He was like, well, I would like to see you not accidentally brake there at least once, Kyle.
He didn't even get mad. He was just like, it was like the way, like when someone doesn't like play into the thing that you're thinking. I don't, why they were being interviewed because they were both top of the times during practice. And yeah, Will Power was like, no, that bump's really bad. And he like turns to Kyle Kirkwood and he's like, yeah, didn't you notice that bump? And Kyle was just like, I mean, it wasn't that bad for me. I guess like depending on where you brake, it could be like, I get that. But like, no, I didn't really have any issues. And Will Power was like, yeah, but you're like gonna be braking there like during the race. Like imagine going over that a bunch of times. And Kyle's like, yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. No, I think I sanded down at least the right side or something. It was funny.
I felt
those two together is
Will.
Like
Will kind of went out on a limb there, like trying to be like, we're all gonna die on this bump, and then Kyle just didn't really like catch on.
Will needed the support to get action to happen, and you have to acknowledge when your friends need that support. But I think Kyle Kirkwood was like, I'm fine without the bump. If the bump is fucking you up, leave the bump.
I like the bump. More bump, more bump, more bump. He said, make it a ramp, make it a ramp.
He said, can we pack some asphalt onto it and make it a real problem?
Yeah.
But essentially, Kyle. They had fixed it. Some of this stuff isn't important. This is kind of just, sometimes I write down stuff that I'm like,
what's going on with this Bobby Rahal thing?
Well, as we get into silly season, I think it might be interesting to kind of pick up on some of these things. But the rumor that's going around right now, like in the time that is now, right now, is
as
that
we speak on this podcast.
It's do you hear it going around? Oh, it just passed me. Is it over to you?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I'm picking up on it.
Is that there may be an opportunity for Louis Foster to leave his current position at RLL, potentially be bought out and go somewhere else. Maybe a little bit of an upgrade situation. Allegedly, that's as far as the rumor gives us. All right, he's going to the 99 for Trackhouse.
Are you by chance going to the 99 for Trackhouse? I heard there's an open seat.
Get ready to learn ovals. But Bobby Rahal, this was just a comment. That's the joke, is whenever someone switches a series, you go, get ready to learn ovals.
Yeah. I mean, he does maybe need some brushing up on ovals.
We have all of, 4 ovals in an IndyCar weekend? You know how many they got in NASCAR? 19 plus. But they were talking on the broadcast how they had interviewed Bobby Rahal, and he was, boasting. He was like, no, Louis Foster, we got him on for a long-term deal. We're really excited about him. We like the work that he's doing. We're really excited for this long-term deal. And it's similar like in F1 where someone comes out and says, that they're really excited about their contract. You know, they've got a long contract. I'm like, you don't have a contract. You're going somewhere. So I wonder if this was kind of on the defense. Yes. Yes, Andrea?
If the rumor is that he's getting bought out to go to an upgrading team, I don't really care what RLL thinks of their contract. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, no, you have a contract with him. He's figuring out a way out of it. Thanks for sharing, This
was just kind of reaffirming that, there is some merit potentially to the speculation. So that's something that's interesting. Also, another thing that was said about a contract, and this one I did kind of take personally because it kind of hurt my feeling. My one feeling. My one feeling is that they were interviewing Tony Kanaan and they were talking about Nolan Siegel and obviously his concussion and whatever. And then Tony Kanaan said something to the vein of no, he's our guy for next year, till the end of next year. And then he kind of paused and he goes, and beyond. And so I was like,
nah, he's got a circled date on the calendar when he's getting rid of Nolan.
And then during the warm-up today, they were interviewing Zach Brown because Zach Brown has time off, heaven forbid. And he said something similar, these are our drivers for next year, unless something changes.
What the fuck is his problem?
What is going on?
The Zach Brown pre warm-up situation was so interesting to me. One, he was like, I don't really do anything. I just kind of walk around and ask people what's up, what they like about their job, what I could do to make it better for them. And I'm like, that's such an interesting take to just like admit fully that like you don't do anything. I was like,
it's like Undercover Boss is what it is. It's like that old like, TV show.
He doesn't actually know how to do any of the stuff, so he's just like, what's up? I'm Zach Brown. What are you guys up to? What do you guys do here? Do you guys build cars? Probably. Yep. Which ones are these? Number 6. Which one would that be? Oh, that's the Nolan kid. We're getting rid of him soon. What's up with this car then? Like, he's just so unhelpful and just in everybody's way with love.
No.
I also found it interesting. Nah, not really with love. I was just trying to be nice. I also found it interesting. Everything in the pre-show warm-up conversation with him was just about F1 in some way. Like, he was like asked about Christian, and then they were like, did like any of the F1 drivers have anything to say about the IndyCar drivers? And he was like, oh yeah, Oscar raced against Christian, said he was fast, so we took that into consideration. I was like, why does everything have to be about F1? I'm so tired of this like little brother situation that we have to pretend like F1 matters around here. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm here for IndyCar.
It's because he doesn't know anything about the IndyCar situation. So they're like, yeah. Please ask me about... Please ask me about
Oscar and Lando. Ask me about papaya rules. I could go on for hours.
You want to ask me about my real kids?
Don't even bring up the Formula E team. He's probably forgotten they exist.
He goes, who is Taylor Barnard? I've never heard of him. We're leaving Formula E at the end of this year.
He goes, oh, that's the one that looks like a mix of Lando and Oscar. Yeah, I like that kid. He looks like a mix of Lando and Oscar.
Yeah, truly.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Nolan. We'll start mourning you now.
I don't know. You and I kind of talked about this. I feel like he'll be fine. But we also heard that the number 5 and the number 7 were told by Chevy, change your freaking engines going into the race. They said, change them. And so they did. And it worked because one of those engines won. I just thought it was interesting because they weren't supposed to change them until Monday. They had planned to change them. And they had met like the mileage on them, so they didn't get any sort of penalty. But just the fact that Chevy was like, no, change the engines. Like, actually change the engines.
They were like, we looked at them.
Worked out. Yeah, there's like, I'm not going to allow the engine to be the thing that takes these points away from us. So, good on him.
What's going on with... Okay, so qualifying immediately starts with Marcus Ericsson not having a good time. And I was like, guys, he needs us really badly. Please, please, please. They, like, were wheeling him out there, and they were like, what if the whole front brakes, like, system doesn't really work? Is that going to be a problem?
They go, by golly, I think the car won't stop. Uh-oh.
So they're, like, literally fixing it, like, on the way there. They, like, just start ripping the car apart on the way there.
There's, like, 12 guys.
Yeah. And he was in group 2, so they were like, yeah, he'll be fine, probably. Or not. Maybe he won't. And I was like, please, can I get more updates on Marcus Ericsson, please? And they're like, no, we're not going to show you that anymore. We're moving on. And I was stressing for a very long time about that, I'm not going to lie. Because I was like, this is his moment, please. All that to say, I have no idea where Marcus Ericsson ended the race today.
5th.
Oh! Well, good for you, Marcus. Good for you.
Yeah, he had a really good race.
Well, glad we got that situation out of the way.
Thank goodness. Yeah, thank goodness he had those brakes. Could you imagine?
Well, and the reason why I was so nervous is because Andretti was doing so good all weekend. This is their moment.
Man. Andretti can really cook on these street courses. Maybe we do need more street courses in IndyCar.
Yeah, less ovals, more street courses. Ovals
just only street courses.
Ovals were fun when we thought they could defeat Alex Palou, but now that he can do those, now it's like, okay, well, we might as well just do more of the street courses then. That was the
all
reason
street
why I
courses
kept the
all
ovals around.
season. They should go to Chicago.
Chicago. They're looking for a new street race in Chicago. I don't know. Do you want to take this from here? I don't want to talk about all the IndyCar stuff. You're better at it.
Just some notes from the Firestone Fast 6. Alex Palou was literally shocked that he was starting P2, and I feel like that's never great to hear from Alex Palou. He was like, I didn't really think we would do that well here, but we're ecstatic to be starting P2. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
We also had Marcus Armstrong, who was starting in P3. And I'm telling you, one of these days, one of these gosh darn Meyer Shanks are going to win a race. I'm going to be elated. Maybe next weekend, because I know Fro's really good at Laguna Seca. I don't know. Just putting that out there. But he did say to Georgia when he was getting interviewed, he said, "See you in Victory Lane." And I remember I told Andrea, I go, well, now he for sure ain't going to Victory Lane.
Yeah, you're not going to be there, buddy. I hope you had a good time play pretending.
It was fun while it lasted. And then we also had Graham Rahal, who made it to P5 on used tires. That's awesome. He is known for his qualifying. He actually had a pretty good race, so I can't really... But just, I think his comments speak for themselves. And then we had Kyle Kirkwood, who was arguably... I mean, he said it himself. He threw away a pole, and I can't...
He says that all the time. Whenever he does...
Yeah, because he does. He does throw away a pole. Yeah, unfortunately, he does do that specifically. But there was an issue, and they made it sound like a driver issue, so he didn't actually get to, put up a flying lap. So he just, by default, started P6. Is it raining?
No. It's just a car being loud.
Oh, because I was like, it's crazy that it's raining there, and it's also raining here, and it's also raining in Dover.
Oh my god. Well, okay.
But it's not.
It raining here and raining in Dover would make sense.
No, I'd like to think you guys are really far away.
Okay. I feel like, didn't Kyle Kirkwood have he went off a little bit on the beginning of one of his laps or something? Didn't they show that?
I think so.
Is that what the issue was?
And he came back and he's like, "Could we put more fuel in it and go again?" They were like, "No, it's done," which is too bad.
That was actually your shot. Unfortunately.
Did you know we only get 6 minutes to do this? We only get 6. All right. It takes a minute for you to go around. There's only so much time in a day.
Colton got pole, and I went, "Oh, that's fun. He's not gonna win though." I don't know. I have no faith.
He did get pole.
I'm sorry. This is going to be really sad if you're a Colton fan to hear. I don't really have much faith this year in him getting pole. Does not mean to me that he's going to win the race. I don't know what happens, but he always ends up just shuffled back into the top 10 maybe or whatever. I never really understand what goes on there. You know what I mean? They never explain it on the broadcast. I never get any sort of what's going on with Colton. It's just he's on pole. They do one round of pit stops, and then whatever strategy he's on was probably the wrong one to be on or something. I don't know. What happened to him today?
He got P4.
I know, but then they were he had good pit stops. There was no wheel falling off. Why did he win?
Yeah, he just wasn't on the pit strategy that was gonna get him a win. Oddly enough, the people who were on the pit strategy that was going to get him a win didn't even know that they were on the pit strategy that was going to get them a win. So, I think it was just chose them wrong.
He had a good go at it. He had a good go at it.
He had a good go. All the Andretti's did, but we'll get to that. And then we had warm-ups, and...
Did you have a problem telling Kyle Kirkwood and Colton Herta apart this weekend? That was a big talking point on the broadcast.
No, I didn't. But I understand, why they would. But I could always tell, I knew who was in the back and who was in the front, because they weren't often right next to each other. I was watching the race. Yellow. Yeah, so I was like, no, that's Gold Bowl. Gold Bowl? Yellow, and that's Gainbridge Honda yellow. It's different.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more orange in Kyle Kirkwood's.
Yeah. Do you think he was cosplaying as Colton?
Maybe, because you think he was Colton won here last year. Maybe if I look like Colton, I could be like Colton.
Gotta trick the Toronto street gods into letting me win here.
And it almost worked. He almost got away with it if it weren't for
those meddling kids.
Yeah, Marcus Armstrong.
Meddling
but
child.
in warm-ups, we had a crash from Santino Ferrucci. It was a pretty bad crash. He just kind of... It was bad. Whatever. He ended up not participating in the race because he had some pain in his hand/wrist. It looked like he was icing it, and it looked like the outside of his hand was bruised, and he had like broken skin, but they said that he had no fractures or anything, so that's good. But between him having a possible injury and them having to like scurry to get this car together, they were like, maybe we just sit this one out and focus on Laguna Seca. I think that's probably a good idea, but this all happened after Will Buxton put a masterful jinx on him, where he was like, the person I'm going to have us watch out for this week is Santino Ferrucci, because he's had an awful weekend. Moments later, Santino Ferrucci's into the wall. Don't know how he did that.
Wild. It's so wild to say. I think he's doing shit, so I think he's going to win. Oh, did he keep doing shit? Damn.
Because he was basing it off of Detroit, where it's like he had an awful weekend, and then he obviously had a pody. Did not happen this time, unfortunately. Do you want to talk about the Colton Brian Herta segment before the race?
Oh, I just thought it was adorable. Before the race, they did like a little segment, and Brian Herta just like cried a little bit because Colton is just like a sweetie pie and got him some really cool gift. I don't know, my sound cut out, and it was just him crying. And I just thought it was sweet, and it was like, I thought it was an interesting thing where we talk about like getting people into IndyCar. I kind of feel like that was like a necessary lore drop moment for newer IndyCar fans that might not know that like Colton works with his dad, but his dad works with Kyle, but then they are still on the same team, and they have like adorable little sad music playing while they show this like father-son moment. I thought it was like an interesting, like, oh, we're building some character here of like the IndyCar drivers. Like we're getting people invested in them. And I also just thought it was adorable. And I was like, this is good. This is good, Fox. I like this. You need to share a little bit about them as drivers beyond just like the normal hype video they play before a race, where it's like, look, hell yeah, fuck yeah, we're in Toronto, play Motley Crue, yeah, fuck yeah, cars.
Yeah, it's also nice that Colton finally, they acknowledged his existence. I think that's something we've been missing, but that's just my opinion. Moving on to the race, the Indy. It's not a GP, it's an Indy in Toronto.
Wait, what?
Marcus Armstrong.
Indy 200? What's it called?
No, it's called the Ontario Honda Dealers Toronto Indy.
What? Okay, fine. Yeah, no, that's good. Yep, keep moving. You're just all children left behind. I'm children. Go ahead.
It's called an Indy versus like a GP. Like you used to have a GP or you'd have an Indy, and it's like an Indy. It's always stuck that way. Is why it's called that. I don't know.
You don't get a grand prize.
No grand prize. You get a piece of Indy to purchase. And that's it. And that's all you get. But so the race starts, and obviously we had Marcus Armstrong in P3, but he immediately overtakes Palou, gets up into P2, and then Kyle Kirkwood also immediately overtakes Palou. Not immediately, but very quickly on the first lap. So we already see it's just not looking great for Palou. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Whatever, what halves you. And then the next big moment happened a couple laps later. We started to do our first pit cycle. This is where we were getting like the Kiffin Simpsons, the Renus VKs, and it's like, okay, I don't know what they're cooking, but they're cooking something. We also got Scotty Mack, who went in and pitted. Unfortunately, it looked like he was having issues with it doesn't say which wheel. I don't remember which one it is. I think it was one of the back ones. And they had issues getting it on, sent him out thinking it was on. It clearly wasn't. And you just see the little wheel nut fly off, and then he just loses the car, sends it into the wall. Like, I mean, toast. The car was toast at that point. Unfortunate, obviously, considering everything that has happened with Penske this year. You guys know the drill. I don't want to bully Eeyore anymore. Yeah. We just gotta keep on moving. I say,
it's a gorgeous blue car, and I wish that this gorgeous blue car would stop crashing for Scotty Mack.
Yeah, I don't think that gorgeous blue car has finished a race yet. Yeah, no, it hasn't. Mm-hmm. But so then a new pit cycle starts. We get Colton Herta, who wins the race off of pit road. There's some question marks. I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No, that sounds like me taking the notes for this race. I think I just went. I think I was just confused that he had a good pit stop. I think that's what the question marks are referring to.
It was a good pit stop. It was really good pit stop.
Yeah,
I'd be confused too.
I'm putting myself back into Andrea a couple hours ago. I think she was confused because I was like, when's the other shoe gonna drop? You know what I mean? Like, is one of these wheels not on all the way or something? Like, what's going on here?
No, he got out unscathed. Who didn't get out unscathed? Actually, this wasn't a pit incident, but Kyle Kirkwood got a penalty for being offline on the start. So he had to drop 3 places. He dropped from 19th to 22nd. Not a big deal for our man Kyle, who should have been on pole. Not a big deal.
Nope, not at all. He's gonna water off the duck's back. You know what I mean? He's fine.
So we get back to racing, and we have those cars in the front that we mentioned earlier that stopped on the same pit cycle as Scotty Mack. We have Renus VK and we have Kiffin Simpson. And these tires ain't cooked because they're on the softs. And it was very clear this weekend that, like, you ain't going to make the softs work. Unfortunately, so sorry, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen the way that you want it to. Let's figure out a different plan.
Be sad about it and move on.
Move on. Accept defeat and move on. But VK, he started to drop, but he ended up pitting earlier than Kiffin Simpson. And we just see Kiffin Simpson continue to drop and be slow and block. And he kind of essentially makes himself become traffic for all of these cars because Alex Palou is in the lead. He still hasn't pitted at this time. And so my theory, and the theory that was kind of shared by the broadcast, was like maybe there is a world where Kiffin Simpson is kind of trying to hold back the masses so that Alex Palou can get this gap. I think he needed a 25-second gap to be able to pit and come out in a favorable position. Whether or not that's true, Chip Ganassi has not admitted, hasn't answered any of my DMs asking if that's true, but how are we to know? It ultimately didn't end up working for Palou because his strategy just didn't work, but that's all right. And
I feel like at this point, Christian Rasmussen, he's in the back. He's trying to cook something. He's trying to cook. He's trying his hardest to do Christian Rasmussen things, but he tried it with the wrong person, and that person being Will Power, who just bumped him straight into the wall. And it's so mean that they did this.
He was pissed on the radio.
MJ, the broadcast, they go, looks like the luck for Christian Rasmussen is finally run out. They made it sound like it was like, it's about damn time this fucking kid crashed. They were like, he's gotten away with too much. And Will Power said, not under my watch. But then they also made it sound like, Will Power, he was just like, he just does that. You know what I mean? He's going to bump you right into the wall. You got to just take that if you try to pass him. And I was like, again, a maniac meets a crazy person. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you to do?
Yeah. It looked like Christian was trying to run him a little bit off the line. And Will Power simply said, I'm not, like, moving. Like, I understand your car is trying to force me off, but I'm just going to go through it. But he smacked the wall, had enough damage that he came back out 23 laps down. He pitted quite a few times to try to fix the issue. Never really came back from that. Will Power's fine, though. Don't worry about him, guys. He is
Don't worry about him.
Fine. But so this is where we realize...
Do you think that they reinforce Will Power's car to, like, be a little bit more of a battering ram, like a steel-toe boot sort of design, where he can just, like, do that to other people and never have to pay for the repercussions of... Because I feel like his front wing is, like, kind of used as a weapon more than the other cars. And he seems to be, like, fine.
He's just, like, the IndyCar is just a battering ram for him. I don't know how he does it. It just... I wonder... I would love to ask him one day. Be like, you race very physically, lots of contact. What have you learned
to affect you?
to be able to sustain a car for so long after being an absolute... Because it like, famously works for him quite often. it's impressive. It's an impressive racing
He used his car
style
as a battering ram under Kyle Kirkwood's. I feel like he damaged Kyle Kirkwood's car more than his own.
He did. He literally did. No, I don't know how. Because it clearly is not happening with the other two Penskes. It's like there's something special on that number 12.
Yeah, they steel-toe bootified the car. They made it so they're like, it's going to lose some speed because it's like made out of fucking like indiscreet, whatever Captain America's shield is made out of. That's what we decided to make Will Power's car out of. It's a little heavier, but it works for him.
It'll work. God, that's funny. At this moment is when we realize that we have two separate strategies going on. They're more defined now. And this is when Pato kind of pops up into the conversation. I'm trying to remember. It was after this where, okay, so Rossi has contact with the wall. This is really, I should have said this first. Rossi has contact with the wall. It's one of those instances where there's nothing he really could have done. Like, they said on the broadcast, 99 times out of 100 you would get away with this. He hits the wall, like, perfect, bang on, the same way that his teammate does. Unfortunately, there is just a jut out of the wall and he posted a picture of him right up next to it on his Twitter. Like, he put his finger on it and was like, look how much it comes out. Destroys the car. Absolutely destroys the car. And we see the yellow come out. And this was just a brilliant move by Aaron McLaren. Aaron McLaren saw this incident before the yellow comes out. They call up Pato and they go, get in the pits right now. Get in here right now.
You better bring your ass here right now.
Get in here right now. Specifically, yeah. But he's able to pit before the yellow drops. Okay, also Robert Schwartzman also pit at this time. It just wasn't as beneficial for him. But I think it's important to point out that he did have a good idea. And I think Fro as well. But Fro, he had some damage sustained after fighting with Will Power as well. So now we're on Pato Award Watch because he's leading all of the people who are doing the 3 stops, whereas we've got Alex Palou and I think Scott Dixon primarily were making this attempt at a 2 stop. Everything is in quotes. That's allegedly what was attempting to happen. But that's the deal. Did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to point out before we moved on that they said that Alex Rossi's car, it got sliced like a deli slicer, which is never probably something you want to happen to your car. But I just thought,
no,
that's crazy. And that's exactly what happened. Apparently it broke like everything in the fucking car. I'm just like,
crazy.
How? Anyways, hate to be deli sliced. Not ideal.
That is an automotive issue that I do not ever foresee myself being comfortable with.
No, never want my car to be deli sliced, please.
Please.
No, thank you.
So the pits open. We get Alex and Scott on this magical 2-stop that apparently is going to happen. They decide to stay out. Everyone else decides to go in. We have this incident between Kyle Kirkwood and Marcus Armstrong. Marcus Armstrong, who, like, at this time, we're still kind of thinking, okay, these boys are going to cook something up. They're going to come out on top. Kyle Kirkwood has the first pit stall, which is kind of finicky to get into. He likes it, though. That's the same one he had last year. He's like, I kind of prefer it. It's not that bad. And I would agree that it's not that bad when you don't have Marcus Armstrong, who is famously known for, like, blocking funny and moving under braking. Like, he's maybe the worst person to have behind you. And he just gets spun. Kyle Kirkwood gets spun completely around as he's trying to head into his pit box. Of course, justice, the hammer of justice, did rain down onto Marcus Armstrong, and they said, you. Penalty. Drive through. So, that's great. Unfortunately, it did, like, majorly fuck over Kyle Kirkwood, but what can you, neither here nor there. Yes, ma'am, you have a question?
Well, I'm working on not interrupting, guys, so I hope you don't mind for the rest of for the podcast. Now I just raised my hand. I don't know if that's good for podcasting. I liked in the pre-show where they talked extensively about how much they hate Kyle Kirkwood's pit box, and they were like, this is the worst pit box. It so sucks. And then they were like, it's also a danger to human life. Kyle Kirkwood's crew is going to have their life on the line. They're going to possibly die if somebody doesn't make this turn properly. And they just go, but he likes it, I guess. And I was like, can somebody explain to me why he likes it? And they're like, nope, it's a Kyle Kirkwood thing. You just got to take our word for it. He likes it, I guess.
He's crazy. Yeah, there's actually like they call it a ballard. A ballard. What it is a cone.
Slices your car. It deli slices your car. If you try to fucking go through it, it deli slices it.
It's like perfectly lined up to where like the cars have to go around it because the crew is right there. Like if they take this line, they're smushing some Andretti team members. Thank goodness that didn't happen. Unfortunately, Kyle Kirkwood's day was kind of screwed up there, and Marcus Armstrong got a drive-through penalty for avoidable contact. And then we headed into
hat. Got him.
Oh, yeah. Marcus Armstrong and the team had some bucket hats this weekend, which was very whimsical, and I liked it. I just wish he wouldn't have spun around Kyle Kirkwood in the pits. Like, I don't know why we can't have both things.
Right. Well, I think it's like he hasn't earned the bucket hat. You know what I mean? Like, Felix wouldn't have done that. He should get the bucket hat.
No. And he would have done it in full Ozzy Osbourne drag, too. He would have been respectful in full Ozzy Osbourne drag.
Exactly.
Guess we'll never know. We head back to green, though, under commercial, unfortunately, which it seems like Andrea was not super excited about based on her note.
What does my note say, MJ?
I did take the F word out of it. It says going green on commercial like dumbasses.
And there was
and then I added what happened. Dumbasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why? Okay. I'm trying not to sound like a NASCAR fan here because I don't really think Fox is like that bad. It's just like this to me. I was like, okay, that's like basically the one thing you cannot do, which is do a restart under a full screen commercial. You just like, honestly, there should never be a commercial on a restart. Ever. I think that's like basically my one rule.
One rule. Keep the lights on. I think it's probably less of a Fox situation and more of a miscommunication from IndyCar on when they are going to restart. Maybe. I'm fully to the point after watching NASCAR last season where I'm like, I'll take one accidental commercial on a restart if that's going to be the only issue throughout this entire broadcast. It
was just startling.
I mean,
it was so startling.
It would, especially when it's like, okay, there's a crash. You're actually going to restart immediately into one of the more insane crashes we've seen. Jacob Abel, bless his heart, he kind of was fighting someone coming in the corner, but then it didn't look like he got bumped as much as he kind of just misjudged it and turned into the wall. So he was just sitting there. The car was fine. Probably would have been able to back up. Unfortunately, there was a line of cars coming behind him because it was a restart. And we had Joseph Newgarden cooking around that corner, and he just slides up underneath the tail of Jacob Abel's car, which I have never seen before. So Jacob Abel's tire is actually sitting over top of like the opening where the driver gets in, like inside of the halo. Thankfully, everyone was okay. It did end up piling up. I think Dev was involved. I think Callum Ilott was involved. Oh, I think Nolan Siegel was also involved. But this is very reminiscent of the incident last year, which famously I mentioned to you guys. I was like, they haven't talked about it a single time. The huge crash last year where Pato was essentially used as a ramp in that same corner because a yellow wasn't thrown quick enough, and Pietro Fittipaldi took it as a ramp, and then we had Santino Ferrucci take it as a ramp and go completely over, and then the yellow was called, and we still had two more drivers end up their days getting ruined on that. So I wonder if it's a corner issue. I think that was like a driver instance, but like if we're having so many incidents at that corner, I don't know if maybe that's something we take into consideration.
Maybe somehow change like where they do the restarts from or something. Would that help?
Maybe. Because the one last year was also on a restart.
Like if they can take the corner normally fine, but they can't take the corner 2 or 3 wide without it becoming a problem, then we need to make it like farther along in the restart that you get to that corner. And maybe that would solve the problem.
Yeah.
There you go, IndyCar. Use that.
We need to move move the Echo Park automotive restart zone just a little bit, a few meters north or whatever.
A few meters norther. You heard her. You heard the girl. Make it a few meters norther. Quickly.
Quickly, please.
Yeah, come on.
They had to remove Jacob Abel's car from on top of Joseph Newgarden's car, of course, which took a lot of time. You added a note that they should have just red flagged this junk. I kind of agree.
Thank you. Okay, they literally took so long, and there was like no movement on these cars because they had to like first address the Joseph Newgarden and Jacob Abel of it all, make sure they were okay, and then it was like taking them a while to hook them up to the tow trucks and to figure out like what they were even gonna do to like remove Jacob Abel's car, because normally they kind of like just like roll it, but like then they were like, well, we can't really like roll it because then it might land on its head, so they had to like pick it up off of Joseph's car. Yeah. I don't know. I was like, just red flag it. Like, clearly this is taking you guys a little while to figure out. Let's not, like, tick down the fucking laps while you guys do this.
To be fair, they weren't... Well, but I guess if they red flagged it, it wouldn't have been an issue. But they weren't opening the pit lane also. Because where you would come out the pit lane, there would be a wreck. There would be a car on top of another car. So it was very... I don't know. And part of me wonders, I made this joke at Iowa, but I genuinely wonder if that's why sometimes they add on these extra laps to be like, well, you guys remember how long it took for us to clean everything up last year? It's like, we might as well just cushion it a little.
Yeah. No, I think like I have a thing. I think it's me being a fan. I just want to see racing, and I understand why they do it sometimes and they don't others, but I'm just like, I hate watching the laps tick away for like, yeah, like it's just like just reflag. If it's gonna take longer than like 10 laps, like please, like let's just not. It's just me being greedy from where racing. You know what I mean? I get that they have their own show to run.
I respect it.
Thanks. Just me thinking I could run everything better, even though I've never run a television broadcast of a race ever in my life. I'm like, yeah, I think we should probably just red flag it. Oh, really? Thank you.
You've got that Aries vibe that I'm like, no, she could probably do it better. So pits eventually open up after 100,000 years of waiting, and we have Pelot and Dixon come in. Okay, I mean, nothing really happened with them, and that made me really sad.
I was like, normally I'm like, do whatever Scott Dixon is doing, but I'm like, why do I feel like right now Scott Dixon's doing whatever Alex Pelot is doing? And I'm not trusting Alex Pelot's calls here.
Suddenly I'm like, maybe we should do whatever Kiffin Simpson is doing.
I think he might be cooking in the Chip Ganassi strategy department, guys.
I fear. It's always interesting how it's like Scott and Alex on one strategy, and then they're like, yeah, well, let's put Kiffin on the opposite. It's like, okay, but give Kiffin a chance. Put him and Scott Dixon on the same strategy. Do something.
They literally said, oh, the Chip Ganassis are gambling here with Alex and Scott Dixon. Why are we gambling with the two race winners on your team? Like, no offense, but like maybe we should put them on different strategy. Why are they always on the same strategy? It's always like, oh, we're going to feel save with Alex and Scott. I'm like,
and
but what if that's not
so funny
the vibe?
It's so funny to now know that it's Alex was the reason they were gambling. Yes. They're like, no, these two cars are on a gamble, and it's like, it's because he chose it. I don't know.
I just need to have a talk with Scott. What is Scott doing? Like here, is he like just doing whatever Alex does out of like, maybe I'll get to beat him one of these times? Like, it's like, what is your plan? Like, you just should do whatever you want to do, Scott. You have more experience.
I mean, he did beat him, to be fair, on the same strategy.
Fair enough.
So we have a restart again. Famously, many a restart. In the street race, VK is leading, and then we have Simpson and Connor Daly behind him. And obviously VK and Simpson are on the same strategy. Not super sure what was going on with Connor Daly. He also just kind of seemed to drop. I think they're still really struggling with their like street course packages over at JHR. But he's every weekend he's putting up a fight, regardless of how many issues they're having with he's putting up a fight. He is.
He's trying.
And that's why more people should sponsor him, in my opinion.
No, he on his podcast, he got kind of pissy on his podcast because he's like, we didn't have a sponsor. It was a blank car. We did put it on the front row though, so I was like, oh, would have been a good time to have a sponsor. If I was a sponsor, would have loved to be front row at Iowa.
I don't know. He's got to get a sponsor. I just don't know. But
us.
Anywho, I guess back to the race. Yeah, we'll sponsor him.
If we sponsor him, he's gonna have to put a fake dog in his signature card, just like Stingray Rob.
That is so
he's gonna be like, why though?
And also the fact that so many people like when I posted that picture, so many people were like, "Oh yeah, we love the fake dog on Stingray Rob's driver card." And I was like, "Oh,
wait, so you guys all knew it was a fake dog and nobody told us? We just noticed."
No one said anything?
It was just like an inside joke in the IndyCar community that we weren't part of. No, if we sponsor Connor, we can. If we sponsor Connor, we can Photoshop Bella, Winston, and Gigi all around.
That would be lovely.
Him, and they would be dressed like the muses from Hercules, and he'd go, "Why?"
Gorgeous.
And we'd be like, Connor, we are the sponsors. We get what we want.
Your car, do what we say.
Your car's gonna say laps down on it, and you're gonna have to just wear that with dignity, despite not being laps down. Hopefully.
It'd be really embarrassing if you were laps down. Something to think about. But really on brand, so we will give you a bonus if you are laps down. And they mention it on the broadcast.
We should just start sponsoring whoever we think is like the worst IndyCar driver who's most likely to be laps down. And just every year we pay a couple $1,000 just to put a little sticker on their car.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, right?
And then every time they say laps down on the broadcast, we're like, free shout out from Hinchcliffe. That's crazy. They
on NASCAR, they do like the debt relief lap where it's like whoever's a lap down gets like a relief lap, but it's like sponsored. We should do like a this idiot's several laps down cam. It's just like whoever's getting lapped again. Or like if it's somebody that came out. You know how they never talk about when people come back out with repairs? Like you just mentioned Christian came out several times. I had no idea they'd never mentioned that. It'd be funny if there was just like a cam where they're like, by the way, like this guy's like 50 laps down. Like that's so funny.
Just like a little, and we're taking you to the laps down cam. Christian Rasmussen, 23 laps down, 23 laps down. But, okay, we have restart. Power and Pato get into it a little bit. I actually completely missed this. I don't know what I was doing. Completely missed this.
Pato was like, I'm really trying to win this race. Please, Will. Please. Will, please. Have fucking mercy on me, please. And he just kind of like pushed Will out of the way to get by him. And he was like, Will kind of like got defeated. You know what I mean? They didn't pull a yellow out. He just kind of like got in the back of the line. He had to like sit in the wall for a second and wait his turn to get in back of the line.
Oh, I do remember that.
It was like just interesting because I was like, dude, Will Power's about to end Pato's day. Like he's in a mood today. You know what I mean? Like you're not allowed to pass Will Power unless you want to like suffer the consequences. And then Pato just kind of did like I'm doing something here. Please, Will, please. I'm doing something.
I saw in the post-conference or post-race conference, Pato was like very apologetic for it. And he's like, yeah, you never like to see that. He's like, I'm actually going to probably go talk to Will after this because I feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he literally was just trying to do something.
Which is fair.
I don't know.
And then we had Foster tap the wall. He has left rear damage. He pits. He is also someone who is 23 laps down. And that's just another race to forget for 2/3 of the RLL team. Sure. Mm-hmm. Nothing new here. We shall move on. Renus and Pato benefited from the cautions to make their two-stop work. Pato beats Renus out of the pits. Yeah. Pato does beat Renus out of the pits, doesn't he? Because I remember us watching Pato. I remember watching Pato come out, and then they're like, oh, and there's the little Dale Coyne coming right down behind him. And I was like, rats. Wouldn't it have been cool?
Then they cut to commercial, side by side, and Renus was like, going and getting him. Renus is going and getting him. I actually thought he was going to pass him on a side-by-side, and I was like, no, we're going to have a Renus passing Pato for the lead of the race on a side-by-side commercial. No, please, don't do this to me.
That would have been devastating. If there's one thing about Renus is he loves to hunt. Man loves to hunt. He's such a good driver. It's crazy to me that he almost like didn't have a seat this year. Like, he has a seat by accident.
Wasn't it kind of like between him and Linus, if I'm like remembering the silly season rumors of like who's gonna get that last seat? Like it was like it's gonna be Renus or Linus, and then Renus got. So it's like I feel bad for Linus, but if he's the price we had to pay to get a Renus, then I think it's fair.
I think it was even crazier. I think it was him versus like Stingray Rob, and then Stingray Rob had just been announced as the JHR driver, and now they're like, okay, well, what are you doing this weekend? You want to come test at Indy? And he's like, he was just getting out of the shower, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm on my way. I don't have a suit, but I'll find a suit. I'll be on my way. I'll be there soon. Then he got a job. So hell yeah, Renus. He's so good. I can't wait to see who gives him a forever home next year. Oh, and then we had this like crazy Loonguard battle for like P12 is what it was. He was fighting for his life. He has a little bit of contact with David Malukas. David Malukas, who kind of he was off both of the pit cycles. It pulled him all the way back, but he was hunting. He was doing a good job coming up. Obviously, he got to Christian Lundgaard. They had a little bit of contact. Seemed like it was going to be okay. Malukas went on by. And then Christian Lundgaard, the next person he had to face was Connor Daly, who was coming up for that pivotal P13 spot.
Apparently. That's the problem. I'm like, I love that. The stakes here?
I mean, to be fair, though, unlike in like Formula 1, it's like there is still stakes for P13 over P14. Not as crazy as it would have been if it was like P1, sure. But he gets into it with Connor Daly. Connor Daly just like, I don't even think Connor Daly sent him into the wall. Somehow, Christian Lundgaard gets sent into the wall. And he like kind of didn't miss a beat. Like he was in the wall, held there for a second, and like was immediately back at it. So he ended up P14. That whole sequence was crazy.
They were like, he's trying to show off because Zach Brown's here and his teammate is leading the race. And I was like, is this showing off? Is this... I don't think this is positive. This is like just some maniac out here just like making contact with every person that drives past. But I was like, yeah, sure, Christian Lundgaard, show off. I don't know.
I think if it was successful, it would have been much cooler, but it wasn't really working in his favor. And then we had Pato, who was in lap traffic, and this was an instance from earlier in the season where Pato was livid with Stingray Rob for not moving aside for the Chevys and not being on Chevy's side. Mm-hmm. So this time, Stingray Rob learned from getting absolutely roasted in the post-race press conference. He just got out of the way. I just wanted to highlight that we can change and we can grow
he learned
as
to listen.
People. He did.
He was like he's like, Pato's a fan favorite. I'm gonna need to pick my battles more wisely.
Yes, it's smart. It's a smart marketing move. And then we had Fro, who, as I mentioned earlier, sustained some damage from a battle with Will Power. He ended up having, like, his suspension was screwed, and then his front wing had visible damage that they were just like, nah, it'll be fine. You could probably finish the race. But he had an issue in an undrivable car, and he got turned around and caught Nolan Siegel, who was, he was just an innocent bystander. But finishes both of their race. That brings out a yellow, so the race actually ended under yellow. We had a Pato win, Arenas VK P2, and a Kiffin Simpson first podium ever P3. Truly magical.
Yeah, this is like pretty close to what I would consider to be like a dream podium. I think like if you somehow snuck Connor Daly on there, it would be like, what a fun podium.
Lovely.
I'll take a Pato though, because like we need like a normal person to win so that we can like feel good about the race. You know what I mean? But like I love that Renus and Kiffin got podiums,
especially like after the seasons that they have been having. Like they've been putting in the work, so it's cool to see it like actually pay off. Because there's some people who are going to spend this entire season working their butts off and just never get a podium. But we also had I call it the losers podium, which is the 4th, 5th, and the 6th. That was all Andretti. We had Herta, Ericsson, and Kyle Kirkwood. Alex Palou finished outside of the top 10. He was actually P12, so we only got 18 points because he also led the most laps. And they were interviewing him, and they're like, well, you can't really be, like, upset. Like, things just didn't go your way. And he goes, well, and he said it with a smile on his face. He goes, well, actually, I chose the strategy. So, like, yeah, but I'm glad Kiffin got P3.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, it's actually all my fault. So, yeah, everything's, yeah, I actually am upset. Thanks for asking. I'm having a really good time. Everything's good, though.
He seemed he seemed fine, which I always think is funny. Because technically he can. He's still 99 points ahead of P2. So I don't think he's quite worried there. But yeah, 99 points in front of Award. And then I think Award is like 70-something points in front of Kyle Kirkwood. Maybe we could see. I would love to see a battle for P2. And Kyle Kirkwood would have to stop throwing away pole. He would have to.
Mm-hmm. No, that's so true.
But Laguna Seca is a track that Alex Palou is pretty good at. Same with Felix Rosenqvist, something to think about. But we shall see.
I liked the post-race. I liked a little Alex moment. I thought that was funny. We got tears from Renus and like puffy face from Kiffin. Like he might have cried a little bit. But it was interesting with Renus. He mentioned like the team and how hard Dale Coyne has been working this year, and specifically his team. And he almost made it sound like, because did we talk on the pod last week about how he would take job security above all else at this point in his career? Maybe
I think so.
He kind of made it sound like he is like, he said something like, I'm looking forward to all the future podiums and potential wins that we can get with this team. And I thought, surely he's not talking about this year. Because that would be, like, crazy to say, like, that about this year.
I think it would be, at this point, insane for Dale Coyne to not just, like, lock it down with Renus VK.
Get committed.
Someone who's able to drive, like, that car, I would say he is, like, the Max Verstappen. He's not in a Red Bull, but he is, like, the way that he is speaking to this just, like, junk piece of car.
He's speaking to it in Dutch.
He's the Max Verstappen of IndyCar.
Yeah.
He's the Max Verstappen of IndyCar.
He's speaking to it in Dutch. He's making it happen.
Doing amazing things with this, like, less than amazing car. You give a little extra money to the driver. Give him, like, a couple mil.
Retention
I don't know
bonus.
how. I genuinely have no idea how much any of these driver contracts are for. You throw some money at him, keep him around, and then just continue to talk to him about the car. Be like, hey, what can we do to make it so it's drivable for you? Is it going to be drivable for, like, whoever they have in the other car? Maybe not. But for you, Renus, it'll be drivable because we know you can drivable it to the podium.
Yeah, I think they should make, like, a Red Bull situation here where they're like, we'll build you whatever you want. You tell us what you want, Renus, and we'll make it yours. The second seat will just become a constant rotation of drivers and will, like, ruin their careers and everything. But as long as you are having a good time, Renus, and as a Renus VK fan, I would be fine with that.
I think, keep him around, Dale Coyne. Dale Coyne, if you're listening to this podcast.
Can we, like, here's my request for you, Dale Coyne. Keep Renus VK, but ensure that we never have to deal with a bump day again. That's my only hesitancy about you, Dale Coyne. I can't do that again.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with a bump day. I would also like you to keep Jacob Abel just so that he can run in the 500 next year.
And maybe smile once or twice. That would be nice if we could get a smile out of him.
I think
that'd be good.
I think Jacob Abel smiles quite a bit. Him and Renus kind of have the same thing where it's like they're good people to put in bad cars because I think they're going to be fine. I think they're not used to being in good cars. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. They seem really strong. They seem really brave.
You guys are so brave. It's so brave
you
that you
so
went out there and you tried your hardest. It's really brave. No, I just think, like... Yeah, that's fine. If they can fix the Indy 500 situation, then Renus can stay at Dale Coyne, and I'll be happy with that as a Renus fan.
Wonderful. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Yep.
But I think that's all we have for IndyCar, unless you have anything else. Andrea, she'll actually have a preview for Laguna Seca, the Super Bowl of IndyCar, next weekend. It'll come out this Thursday on ATYL Media on our little 4 laps situation. Keep your peepers out for that. I always repost it on Instagram. I don't repost it on TikTok because it doesn't make its way to TikTok. I guess I could start doing that. We can find a way.
I wish we could have like planned ahead. This seems like a big deal race, and I don't like that I'm responsible for the. I should have done Toronto, and you should have done Laguna Seca because people really fuck with Laguna Seca, and I've admittedly actually never watched a Laguna Seca race.
Laguna Seca is one of my favorite tracks, so I'm really excited to see what you cook up.
Yeah, that's really good. That's not helping with the pressure at all.
But like, I'm not worried about it at all. I think you'll do a wonderful job.
I'm going to watch it this week. I've never watched a single race there. I just know that there's that one pretty part that everybody likes.
Yeah,
where
the car is like a 6-story drop is what it is.
Yeah, but I see it on Instagram sometime and it looks pretty.
Yeah, you'll love it. It'll be fun. But so keep your eye out for that. Is there anything else you wanted to add about IndyCar?
No, I think that's all. Oh, wait, I did want to talk about the practice sessions a little bit with the commentators. I really liked how they all wore Hinchcliffe shirts. What do you think about that?
That was funny. I did appreciate that. They were on one during the practices. Like, we had, like, it was, like, hour at the Giggle Hut during practice, too, on Saturday. I was like,
famously, it was hour at the Giggle Hut. Everybody says
hour at the
Giggle Hut. They said some crazy things on that broadcast, guys. They insinuated relations.
Well,
here, I can recite it. I know it by heart.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go say it.
Okay, so Jack Hollywood Harvey was wearing his James Hinchcliffe shirt, and he says, I've never had James on my chest like this before, but I kind of like it. I don't know why he said that. And then, hey, that was crazy. And then they go back to the booth, and James says, don't lie, Jack, there's a second time for everything. And then Townsend Bell got uncomfortable. That's what happened.
Yeah, it was funny. But then Townsend Bell made a remark a little bit after that where I was like, ooh, that one was kind of raunchy too. They were on something. I don't know what they were on. I don't know if there's something about Canadian Air that just gets you a little high for life or something. Something was happening.
Yeah. Oh, also speaking of Canadians that we love, it goes James Hinchcliffe. Who's other Canadians that we love? I'm sure there's some hockey players that MJ's cool with. We also have Disha, who we have an interview with coming out on Wednesday. A Canadian that we love, Disha. She's honestly right up there with Hinchcliffe for me.
Oh.
So,
I would given Hinchcliffe a run for his money, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's actually such an amazing episode. I was listening to it as the editor, and I will probably listen to it again when it comes out because there's so many little nuggets in this interview that I really loved. Disha is a content creator who talks a lot about mental health and uses like her background as a clinical psychologist, and kind of it inspires a lot of her work as a motorsports content creator and also like a writer. And it was so interesting. We talk, it's not our usual lap traffic because we not only talk about her and her content creation, but also just generally mental health amongst like motorsports athletes. And it was so interesting. So I hope you guys tune in. It's really fun. It comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah, that'll
Big
be a good
W
one.
for Canadians.
That was really fun. Yeah, we timed that perfectly. Look at us. Look at us.
We run a real podcast here, folks.
Moving on to NASCAR. Obviously, Chicago shan't be coming back next year, which makes me really sad because it looks like if I'm going to want to go to any races next year, I'm going to have to go to Kansas. And that's too bad, but that's something I'll get over myself.
Why can't we get you free tickets to the Iowa NASCAR race?
I don't think they really do that. I don't think they do that on account of they sold out. They don't need to do that.
You're like the most. You're like literally like the most influential NASCAR creator that I follow. Okay, that's not true. Maybe I'd put you behind NASCAR John. I hope you wouldn't mind.
Behind NASCAR John, behind Breakard, behind Taylor.
Breakard and Taylor. Yeah, but they're in like a different category. I think Breakard and Taylor Kitchen are in a different category because like they're like real professional, journalists. NASCAR John and you do it for like fun. And you're influencers.
You don't think what I say is
NASCAR
real
John
journalism?
Influencers. I think you should get free tickets to the Iowa Speedway to go to the NASCAR race. Who else is doing it like MJ in the state of Iowa, guys? Name one other person. Yeah, you can't. What do we have to do to get her sat on top of a pit box for SVG's team? Huh? So that she can watch him nail ovals. Because isn't he kind of all the ovals, doesn't he kind of fuck with the short track ones?
Okay, wait. Okay, no, this is something I want to talk about. We'll get to the race eventually. But something I've noticed, and I know someone in our comments is going to know the answer to this, and I cannot wait to read the comment tomorrow. Yeah. Why are drivers who are better at road courses also good at short ovals? Like the way we were talking about, like Christopher Bell, like Ryan Preece, who is apparently a road course savant this year. Why? Mm-hmm. What's the affinity between road courses and short ovals specifically? Let me know in the comments below. I just found that really interesting. I don't know. I genuinely do not know.
I don't have lights in my room. I'm sorry, it got dark all of a sudden, guys. I'm going to try to pretend like this fixes it. Maybe it's because if you turn left so many times in quick succession, it almost feels like you could turn right.
No, and I think that's a really good point, because if you think about it, all right turns are just overconsumption of left turns. Right.
So I think that or maybe it's because all of them, they get so dizzy that they forget they're on an oval. And they don't get scared anymore.
That also makes a lot of sense now that you pointed out. But anyways, I can't wait for one of the people in our comments to tell us what's going on.
You don't think what I'm saying is real journalism? Fucking A. I think that you should be sat on top of SVG's pit box at the Iowa Speedway, and I'm pissed it's not happening. And
yeah, me too.
Honestly, the fact that you're talking about how Chicago shan't be around anymore, meaning you have to go to Kansas, as if you don't live in the state of Iowa and you're the most influential person I know in the state of Iowa, is just so upsetting to me.
But Chicago shan't be around. Allegedly, hypothetically, San Diego is going to be coming around the corner.
Hyped about that? Can somebody explain that to me? Why is everybody like, woo, San Diego? What the fuck is in San Diego that people are so hyped about?
Breakard keeps talking about it's a Will Ferrell movie. He's like, you better
Anchorman.
Yeah. Anchorman. It's
not a good movie. I don't like that movie.
It's not a Will Ferrell movie? Oh, it's not a good movie. This is crazy, Andrea. You look fine. Here, do you want me to turn off some of my lights too?
What? This isn't helping you guys? You guys aren't feeling better about this?
The audio listeners are so fed up of us. This is not an audio podcast, and for that I apologize. Jesus. But so, San Diego might possibly be on the table. We also had some news in the legal side of NASCAR. Couldn't tell you what it is, but FRM, Front Row Motorsport, and 2311 are open cars as of now, which means...
Should I figure out who's Front Row Motorsports? Who drives those cars?
Noah Gragson.
Oh, I don't mind that. That's fine.
Is that right?
Who's the other one? Sure. I don't pay attention to him.
I'm furiously typing on my phone.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It also fucks with Todd Gilliland. I like Todd. It's Noah, Todd, and Zane.
I don't have to sweeten my delivery for Todd.
For Todd?
That's what NASCAR said when they took away his charter.
Nobody take that joke. That's my joke. Stop it.
Writing that down.
I know you're trying to find that audio right now on TikTok. Put your phone down.
I don't have to speed my delivery for God, we are just, sometimes we really get going.
This is almost a 2-hour episode, and we've talked about, it feels like nothing. I'm really pissed about this just for Todd and Bubba.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means, though. I'd be more pissed if I knew what it meant. Bob Pockers tried to explain it. Right now it sounds like it means basically nothing, but it could mean something. In the way of,
I think
right now there's not extra, they don't have to qualify in, right? Because there's nobody to bump them out.
On weekends where there are cars to bump them out, they could potentially get bumped out, which I would be a little concerned about, not because I don't think the cars have like qualifying pace, but simply because sometimes the cars don't start, which would lead them to get bumped out. I believe they also don't make as much money when they're uncharted isn't a word, when they're open cars.
That's correct.
All around, not great. Denny Hamlin, they asked him questions, obviously, about it, and he basically just said, like, December 1st, you're going to get all your answers. Like, I don't have a comment now. December 1st, you're going to get all your answers in court. Yada, yada. It's too bad.
I don't know.
It's too bad that the legal system is failing.
Yeah, I'm on the side of not NASCAR. How about that?
Never catch me on the side of NASCAR. You'll never catch me on the side of NASCAR.
You'll never catch me on the side. Apparently, NASCAR was saying that there's IndyCar teams interested in buying the charters. I was like, who?
No. Can they use the charters for IndyCar? Because then it's Prema. Imagine Prema has a NASCAR team?
That would actually be really fun. Can we do that? That sounds fun.
Imagine Prema has a NASCAR team and they bring over Robert Schwarzman.
He's an oval merchant.
I know. It'd be great.
I bet he's also really good at short track ovals. Whatever the fuck that means. He was good in Iowa.
He was good in Iowa.
Robert Schwartzman, new SVG incoming. I don't know. Legal drama. I'll catch you guys December 1st. Also, Connor Zilic won the Xfinity race. And now everybody's like, he's actually insane. It turns out he's insanely good at driving cars. They decided, like, after because the Pocono thing, they were like, well, that was a triangle, that wasn't an oval. Now that he's won an oval, they're like, okay, now he's insanely good at driving cars. I thought it was interesting, though. I listened to him on Stacking Pennies. I don't listen to that podcast very often, but I saw Connor Zilic was on it after Chicago. And apparently there's a rumor going around that SVG let him win in Chicago. What do you think about that?
I don't think SVG would let somebody win.
Okay.
Fun hypothesis, though, but I don't really see him as being like no, I'm going to let my little buddy buy. No.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
And then they were like, well, it's because because JRM, or Junior Motorsport, fuck me. It's like not even that late and I'm acting stupid already. Junior Motorsports would have told SVG to let him win because Connor needed the points in the regular season championship. And I was like, then why would they let SVG race in the first place?
Yeah,
if
why
Connor
would you
needed
send
to win that bad? Why would you let SVG in the race? He's in a Junior Motorsports car. Doofuses. Take that. I fucking destroyed your conspiracy.
Myth busted.
But he also talked about his, like, obviously everybody's like, Connor Zilic is going to Cup. And I thought it was really interesting to hear, like, Connor talk about, like, his future career, because Corey LaJoie was not letting him slip at all. He was like, you're gonna go to F1, aren't you? You're gonna go to Cadillac. And he was like, probably not, but thanks for pretending I have a chance. And I don't know. He said it was a non-zero chance, and MJ goes, Andrea, shut up. It's definitely a 0% chance. And
I was like,
zero
chance because of the super license.
But if we put him in F3 now,
yeah, maybe. In 10 years he could get a seat.
But it was interesting hearing him talk of, like, he kind of wants to go to Cup dominate, win a championship, and then get out of there and go do other stuff. And I thought that was very interesting. I don't know. He also talked about SVG and how SVG's at the point, he basically called SVG old. He's like, SVG's at the point now in his career, he's willing to help people like me, like learn. He wants to be like a mentor. And he's like, he's also teaching all the Trackhouse boys how to drive on road courses so that they'll teach him how to drive on ovals. He's like exchanging information for other information. Yeah, he's like, all right, fine, I'll teach you how to do this weird right foot service thing trading. I do if you tell me how the fuck to make it so your tires don't explode on every oval you go on. But I don't know, it was interesting. Not that I like to promote other podcasts, but I like listening to Connor Zilish when he's on podcasts. He's very interesting. Okay, they had fireworks at the start of this race, but it was daytime. Boo. Why'd they do that?
Boring.
So dumb. Boring.
Lame. I really don't like fireworks.
Talk about
Fire pillars?
Like what they did at the IndyCar race.
Oh, at the Bomberito 500?
Yeah, that's way cooler than whatever the fuck they did. They did bombs at the Bomberito 500. I don't know. But what's your hate on fireworks? What's that from?
I've just never liked fireworks. I don't like loud noises, and I also have really bad astigmatism, so I'm like, I'm not getting any enjoyment out of this except for being jump scared every 10 seconds.
I just thought it was funny.
This isn't fun at all.
It's like, okay, well, I can't even see it, so good one.
Totally unnecessary. They have a giant monster statue. It's like, you don't have to have a gimmick. Like, that's your gimmick. You don't have to have fireworks, too.
I like the monster statue.
I do too, and I'm really upset that no one told us about it. Like, I kind of felt like someone would clock that as something. I had no idea. And then there was someone getting interviewed inside of the car, inside of the hand, inside of the giant monster. I was like, ooh, tell me more. And I didn't look up his lore, but I plan to. Because you can go up in him.
How'd they get the car up there, though?
Crane.
Okay. And no more questions, then I'm good. Tall crane. I like how they made the trophies, the little monsters, and then Connor Zilish said he's going to use his 2 monsters to make a baby monster. I was like, aw, he's 18. He just took sex ed. He learned how babies are made.
Rocks.
Rocks. I don't know.
Oh, they did ask.
That's fine.
I think it was Bleacher Report, but I'm not sure. They were asking all of the drivers how many drivers it would take to beat up Miles. And I think the funniest answer came from
Miles?
Ty Dillon. The rock monster's name is Miles.
Okay, you didn't tell me that.
Well, you said you knew about him.
Okay, fine, continue. You're right.
Anywhoozy, I think the funniest answer came from, because most of them were just like, yeah, we're not beating Miles. And I was like, where's the whimsy? Ty Dillon, they ask him the question, he goes, well, I guess obviously, and then I guess if I could get SVG to help out, and then could we bring Austin Dillon up from Xfinity? Because I think maybe like us and 5 other guys, I think we could do it. And there's something so funny to me about the fact that everyone thinks SVG could like beat people up, including a giant rock monster.
I think he could beat up the giant rock monster. I think SVG, he like is not interested in hurting people, but like if the rock monster wants to fucking fight, I think he'd beat him up.
If he was evil, he could do kind of like a David and Goliath situation, but instead of like a little slingshot, he just uses his rugby ball.
Oh my god, that's so good, MJ. Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah, okay, I'd want him on my team. And Scotty Mac says he has big forearms, whatever that means. I don't really know. Do forearms help you in a fight? What does that mean?
Yeah, sure. If you're using your hands or your arms, those could be helpful.
I thought like your biceps are what like you get punch strength from. What do you think?
I think
not how physics works.
If I was defending Christopher Bell in a Mexican bar fight, I don't know if I would choose you to defend him with me.
See, this is all coming from the biceps. Nothing from this is forearms, and you guys are scared at home in the camera. This is all bicep. Yep,
we're losing. I can feel it. We're losing the plot. It's only 8 p.m. and we're losing it. We also haven't gotten through any of the NASCAR race yet, and we're already 2 hours in. And I was so excited to have my Sunday evening. What?
Okay, let's do it. It's because it's boring. I don't care. They had to do some competition caution for these. Okay, fine. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't think it was a boring race. I think it was just uneventful.
I have ADHD, and I didn't take my medicine today, so it was boring for me if it's uneventful. I needed some crazy shit to happen. SVG immediately loses his amazing starting spot from a qualifying that didn't happen, and I was mad about it. His tire had
a puncture.
Yeah. And they tried to gaslight him. He was like, something's wrong with my tire, and they're like, that's not. He's like, it literally is. And then they radioed in later, and they're like, you were right. Your tire had a puncture. I was like, see, so why do we fucking play these games with SVG? Please, please, please. It's a 3-time race winner you're talking to. Have some respect. They had to do a competition caution, though, and at first I didn't know why, but then Bob Pocker said it was because they had to check the tires because nobody knew how these tires were going to perform because they didn't practice or qualify, and they were brand new tires. I mean, at that point, you're already 30 laps in. If the tires are really bad, somebody would have already gotten hurt. So, what does that accomplish? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, but the tires were kind of bad considering that they were like uncording, which I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah, that was kind of
They're
scary.
like, look at these strings coming out of the tires. And I go, how did the strings get into the tires?
How are tires made? Is that a question?
I genuinely have. I have no idea. I thought I knew, but now I don't know that if I do know.
Because it's like, I didn't know that we had strings in there. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know that that's how we did this. I didn't
either. I'll do a little, we can do a little tire segment next week.
Can you say how you think tires were made?
No. Because I don't know if I think of like a process, but I thought it was like mostly just rubber on there.
Have you ever seen how like vinyl records get made? They take like little chunks of vinyl and they put it on like a press and then they press it into the shape of a vinyl. In my brain, they took like little chunks of rubber similar to what falls off as marbles and they put that in like a little mold and they like press it into the shape of a tire. No, that's how I thought tires were made in my brain.
I guess I don't know. This is we're going to have to find an episode of like how it's made.
Yeah, I love that show. I used to watch it with my grandpa. I like when they would make food items.
I love that. So anyways, SVG started dropping back.
That's how I thought tires were made. Daniel Suarez fucking hates Chase Elliott all day today. Several times Chase Elliott was like, I'm gonna pass this lap to traffic, and Daniel Suarez says, no, I'm fighting for a seat. Oh, she's allergic to talking about Daniel Suarez losing a seat.
I go, the number 99, the track has number 99.
Sorry for bringing it up. Bless you.
Thank you.
But you are kind of a Chase fan and a Daniel Suarez fan. How did you take that? Did you think that Daniel should have let him have it?
No, I think Daniel wanted to stay on the lead lap, and I think Chase Elliott should have just gone around him if he wanted to go around him that bad.
See, we're taking the middle of the road today.
Yeah.
You wanted Chase Elliott to win this race. He won stage 1. Was that not enough for you? You wanted him to win the race?
That doesn't count as winning the race, yeah. Actually, usually when you win stage 1, they don't just say that you won the race.
Stupid rule, if you ask me.
Stupid
I think he won. Rule. I think he won the race to stage 1. She's allergic to the episode, bro. She's like, please wrap it up.
Okay.
Eric Jones hit a wall. Nobody cares. Womp womp.
Hey.
I was interested in the Logano, and well, I only cared about him when he was in the in-season tournament. He's not in it anymore.
Oh.
Don't care. I was interested in this Joey Logano Ross Chastain beef. I was like, can we zoom in on this? Because they kept hitting each other all day, and it was mainly Joey Logano. And they were like, could have something to do with the fight that they had last week. Could have nothing to do with that fight. Who knows?
weeks
It
ago.
wasn't even last week. It was 2 weeks ago. Like, Joey Logano is sitting on this beef.
I like it. I think it's funny.
Dale Jr. said, they're still beefing. That's great for us. And everyone in the booth laughed at him.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. He didn't know why they laughed at him either, which I thought was sad. I feel like they should have clarified that they thought what he said was funny.
Because he was saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, and he goes, what? And they're like, nothing, just the line of the race. He goes, what? What did I say? It's like, guys, can you be nice to him, please? I don't like listening to bullying.
Stop bullying.
Okay. Then we had Chase Elliott losing the lead on pit road to Christopher Bell because his jack fell out of underneath his car while they were putting the tires on.
Slid out? I don't really understand how that happens. It's been a long time since I've used a jack.
I can't say I've ever. And it was interesting because then they decided to share a fun little fact about... Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, next time you come to Iowa, I have a jack, we can play around with it.
That's what you want to do the next time I come over? You want to pretend like we're jackmen on a pit crew?
I think it could be really fun, actually. Yeah, no, that actually sounds like a lot of fun now that you say it like that. Maybe we could learn how to change a tire on my Ford Focus.
Dude, I need to learn how to change a tire. I always have flat tires because I, like, always drive over nails. Hate it when that happens.
Sure.
I want to learn how to climb through a car through the window like a NASCAR driver. Can we practice that?
Yeah, we could do that, too. Yeah, we could just...
Does your car have a sunroof? Does your car have a sunroof by chance?
No.
Because I also want to... I wanted to practice climbing out the roof like we just won and we're on Junior Motorsports and we want to make Dale Jr. mad.
Right.
I want to practice.
We'll find a way.
Okay. Just because I don't know if I'd be able to, like, get up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just feel like we should probably practice. Yeah. Chase Elliott loses the lead to Christopher Bell, falls to 5th place. It was super tragic and sad for MJ specifically because Chase Elliott is now her favorite driver. She's decided he's deserving of the title fan favorite, which is interesting because we started the entire fan favorite segment about how much we didn't think he deserved that.
This is defamation. I do enjoy him. I enjoy him. Oh. But I don't think he's fan favorite. He's not better than Ryan Preece.
Okay, fair enough. Austin Dillon is the lap trap. Was it Austin Dillon or Ty Dillon? That was the lap trap. I feel like it was Ty
Dillon was the one he got into with Denny.
Oh, they fight later on. Okay, so this time it's Austin Dillon who's in front of Denny. And Denny was trying to chase down Christopher Bell for the lead.
No, I think this was still also Ty Dillon. I think this just happens twice.
Okay, then it's Ty Dillon. And I said, Denny, he's fighting for $1 million. It's a little bit of a bigger deal than whatever the fuck you and Christopher Bell are on about. You know what I mean? Like, the lead of the race means nothing to me right now. Leave Ty alone. He's fighting.
Denny, he kind of laughed at him during, like, the red flag interview where they were like, we heard that you were upset with Ty Dillon. Are you mad at him? Because you know he's actually racing for something right now. And Denny was just kind of like... Yeah, I mean, I guess good for him. He's still in it, so if that's what he's got.
They tried to insinuate. I think it's funny when they, like, ironically try to bring up the in-season tournament, but I think it's not funny when they bring it up in a serious tone. And they genuinely tried to act like Denny was mad because Ty Dillon knocked him out of the tournament. There was, like, a little point there where they were, like, not playing into it. They genuinely meant that. And I was like, you guys are ruining this whole fun.
Yeah, that was... No. It's goofy, guys. You can't make something goofy serious.
The fact that you have an entire alt cast about this in-season tournament is far too serious unless it's us hosting it. So, like, already...
I forgot that it's specifically about the tournament. For some reason, I was like, it's just like sports betting. I gotta tune into this next week and when it's just Ty versus Ty.
No, I'm pretty sure, like, the whole broadcast is just about the in-season tournament.
How is that that's not sustainable.
I don't know. Although, can I say something? It's interesting how people keep ending up next to the person that they're battling.
No, it's not interesting. It's fate.
Do you think it's scripted? Because I'm like, why are John Hunter Nemechek and Ty Dillon, like, literally right next to each other this whole race?
It is. I don't know. Yeah,
And then
it is
last
kind of
week
funny how
when-
it works out like that.
Or in Chicago when we had Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace like literally next to each other the whole fucking race. I'm just like,
I like it.
maybe it is scripted. Is this sport fake? No? Okay, that's good. I was about to have like a little breakdown actually because I was like, I have a whole podcast about NASCAR and like scripted. Carson was not having a great day. Carson gets a penalty. What did he get a penalty for? Do you remember?
Yeah, one
I
sec.
don't remember.
I wrote it down. Oh, but I've lost.
He gets a penalty for being a bad Carson. MJ's shuffling abouts there.
I just wanted to see if I could find it.
Either way.
He
gets his
got a penalty because he had a pit stop, and he pulled equipment out of the box. The fueler came with him.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, he hits the wall. And I think he gets pretty significant damage because then after that, I feel like he's in and out of the garage area for the rest of the race. Them trying to fix his car. So there's that. And then at the same time, we also have Allmendinger, who has brake issues. So he's also in and out of pit road. They end up just taking him back to the garage and being done with it. But they were like, he was on the radio being like, so like am I just gonna like die out here? I don't have any brakes. And they like showed him like coming down pit lane and they're like, yeah, he's gonna try to stop here. I'm like, okay, it's interesting. But he was pretty pissed off, and they basically are like, yeah, Allmendinger is gonna win in Watkins Glen. That's how he's gonna make it to the playoffs. I was like, don't start this, please. Christopher Bell spins from the lead after this. Stage 2 finishes up, and he spins from the lead. I thought he was done after that.
Twice? Man, what?
Yeah.
Why is it always him spinning? Him and Christian Rasmussen should go bowling together.
They would love to hang out. No, he like just loses it. He like bottoms out his car or something and then spins. And then it's so interesting. I think this is an interesting tactic. His crew chief gets on after he comes back out and he's like, head down, like don't even worry about it. You're better than all these hooligans out here. Like you're going to be fine. And I was like, I don't know if I like it when the crew chiefs do that. Like don't bring everybody else down to bring yourself up. You know what I mean? Like what happened to girls supporting girls? You know what I mean? Like why does Christopher Bell's crew chief have to shit on everybody else to make him feel better? I don't think Christian wants that. Maybe
he is better than all those hooligans over there. Maybe he is. So maybe it wasn't bringing them down. Maybe it was just acknowledging where they're at. You know, meeting them where they're at.
Okay. I'm just saying, I think it's a controversial move. I don't think that that's the kind of positivity I would look for in a crew chief. And then Bubba gets some cryptic-ass call about rain. And everybody's like, there's not going to be rain. Stop talking about rain. There's no rain. And I was like, okay, there's no rain. That's good to hear. No rain. Well, the rain does come, and it's after basically everybody has done green flag pit stops except for like 6 people. And then I just get hella confused by the order. They literally are like, they acknowledge, like the commentators, they're like, you guys have no idea what's going on right now with the order, and that is so fair. They're like, it's really confusing out there. And I was like, oh, thank God. I thought like maybe I was just stupid. And they're like, no, you're not stupid. They're talking to me. They're like, you're not stupid, Andrea.
Andrea, don't
really
worry.
Confusing out there. And they were like, here's the people you need to look at. Denny and Christopher Bell next to each other, front row. Okay, you got it? And I was like, got it. And they're like, good. Okay, we're going to sit here for like 25, 30 minutes. And then we'll just go back to that when we go back to green. And this is where MJ started getting antsy. She was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was really excited because
crazy.
I thought that we were going to get everything filmed early so then I could like do stuff before bed. No. It didn't happen that way. I jinxed it. I shouldn't have said anything.
We're podcasters first. We don't have lives outside of this. What do you mean you wanted your Sunday evening back? Grow up!
I just wanted to fold my laundry. That's all I wanted. It's okay. I'll do it tomorrow.
No. laundry lives in an eternal state in a pile on your floor, and then you move it to your bed, and then you move it back to your floor so you can go to sleep, and then you move it back on your bed the next morning. Everybody knows that. Or even better, you have a chair. In my room, it's the chair I'm sitting on right now. This is the chair I put laundry on that I don't want to fold, and I never fold it until the next time I do laundry. And then there's new clothes that I'm never going to fold. Everybody knows this! Because I'm a podcaster. And then Ross spins right as the race has to be stopped because of rain. I just thought it was really dramatic and beautiful timing. And then all the people were like, what do you do now for strategy? And they're like, who knows? And then all the crew chiefs just start calling, and I don't fucking know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fun.
The thing about Ross was it seemed like he was on his way to the pits. Like, it didn't seem like it was going to be an issue. He kind of, like, turned himself and got caught on, like, the grass. It didn't even look like grass. I don't know what it was. But then he got stuck. I was like, you literally could have made it. You were right at pit entrance.
Yeah.
And now we have to do all this? Ross? Ross dressed for less?
Yeah.
How dare he?
Ross dressed for less. And then we just fucking sit around, whatever. Then there's a restart. Christopher Bell is battling with Hamlin. He spins. He takes out Gregson and Byron. But then he's like just fine. But then the other two are not fine.
He catches himself. It was kind of a masterclass situation, but I was like, but had he not spun in the first place, we wouldn't be here.
Right. And it's also just interesting because then it's like, okay, so Noah Gragson and William Byron's day is ruined. So glad you saved it, Christopher, and you can just continue on as is. But like, yeah, those two aren't having a good time. And then he gets a penalty. What did he get a penalty for again?
I didn't know he got a penalty.
Soon after, he gets a penalty. And they go...
You want me to look?
Well, it was a bad day for Christopher Bell. It's getting worse.
He had literally a fine day.
No. The commentators say what was a bad day got worse. You can't argue with the commentators, MJ.
Oh, he was caught... Remember, he was caught speeding.
Idiot. So we do another restart. Unfortunately, this time I feel like Kyle Larson, who is lined up pretty good for this restart, I was like, Kyle Larson's going to win. We can just start the podcast and just say Kyle Larson won. But he didn't win because Danny did. Him and Chase Briscoe, maybe, who was also in the front, gave him a little nudge. This is where we started setting up to film the pod, guys. If you can tell, we're getting a little more blurry. It's because I stopped paying attention because I was ready to film. Denny wins. You don't give a fuck about that. Who cares? I'm talking about Ty Dillon and Ty Gibbs are in the finals for the in-season tournament.
This is exactly what we wanted.
This is genius. You guys scripted it perfectly. This is exactly what we wanted. We wanted two kind of hated on Nepo babies racing for $1 million. I wanted it so badly, and thank you for delivering. I love TNT.
It's
almost
TNT.
As much as I love Pride.
Stands for Ty and Ty.
Ty and Ty. It's been scripted this whole time. I think that my bets are going to be on Ty Dillon because I just think like he's already come this far. Like he can't lose now. What do you think?
We're going to IMS. I'm going to say Ty Gibbs, just to be like an opposition to you. Traditionally in the past, I would say Ty Dillon, but just so we have like a little something, I'll stand behind Ty Gibbs.
She's standing behind her man's. Stand by your man. It's you and Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, I'll stand by my man, Ty Gibbs.
Yeah. Okay. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to win? Leave them in the comments below. I'm pausing so that they can I just don't want them
Oh.
to be typing and not listening.
Yeah, no, that's good.
They probably,
Don't.
like how long could it take to type Ty Dillon or Ty Gibbs? You know, they're probably.
It's only 2 letters if they just go with the first name.
Well, that would be confusing. So hopefully they don't do that.
Speak your truth.
What do you want to talk about with NASCAR other than that? Is there anything else you want to say about NASCAR?
Yeah, there's one other thing we have to do.
Fuck, fan favorite. Okay.
Fan favorite.
I have mine, and I think.
I have mine
Can
too.
I venture to say ours is probably the same?
Ryan Preece because of the slushy machine.
Yeah, that's what I was going with. What were you going to go with?
No, that's what I'm going with.
Okay, so we both had the same vote this week. It was tweeted that apparently Ryan Preece installed a slushy machine in his hauler. He immediately put lemonade in it, and then he said something about wanting to put margaritas in it. And his crew chief said not until after he races, which is good.
He wins. Not
so
until
he was
after he
just
wins a
settling
race.
for lemon. Oh, okay. He has to win to put margaritas in it. For now, it's just lemonade. But it is a slushy machine, and I think that's super fun. And that's a fan favorite behavior right there. And whoever shared that on X or whatever is like part of the Ryan Preece propaganda, and I love it. And he better win fan favorite this year. He also won a little race that is in a series that I don't follow. I'm sorry. This is where my motorsports knowledge wraps up. You know what I mean? I don't really understand it. It was some other type of race. I don't know. He just made his car look like the Build Submarines car, which I loved.
Yeah, I think it was late model racing. It was him versus the Biff. And also, Cletus McFarland was there with his little man. I'm not sure who he is, but they did the meme that's currently going around about the CEO at the Coldplay concert, and I found that very funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's tangentially related to Ryan Preece, so he benefits. Cletus McFarland's funny meme goes to the benefit of Ryan Preece because Ryan Preece was at the same race in the BuildSubmarines.com car.
Makes sense to me.
Beautiful. Any questions, guys? I mean, like, do you guys have any questions about our votes? Because it's pretty clear that Ryan Preece is fan favorite at this point. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not on the Ryan Preece train, where you at?
We'll start our official campaign soon, I think. We'll start going door to door, make all of our little videos, but I think, we've collectively decided Ryan Preece for fan favorite.
I think today they like showed the playoff bubble situation and it was not looking good for him, so this is kind of like all we got, you know what I mean?
If he can't be in playoffs, at least he can be in the playoffs in our hearts.
Yeah. Wish he could have won the in-season tournament, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's it. Just remember, everyone, to fill out all of the comments with all the questions that we asked you. I want to know your star sign. I want to know which tie you're voting for. I want to know... Is that it?
No, we said something about why people that are good at road courses are good at short ovals.
If you have an answer to that, let me know. Also, if you know how tires are made, that could be cool too.
How tires are made. Also wondering who you guys think would be able to beat up Miles the Monster.
Yes, would
and
like to know
if
that.
If forearms are important for punching.
They are.
No, they're not. It's all by
Okay.
What do you guys think? Be sure to leave your comments below.
Okay, bye guys.
Listen to this podcast.
Love you, mean it. No, we have to stop.
Love you, bye.